Oh, it's lovely to hear, isn't it? It is lovely to hear. And it is Friday night, and I'm half off the screen, half on the screen. Someone's written all over my arms. Oi, is that light enough? Can you tell me? Because I have the brightness down on my channel really dark so that I get migraines when I'm writing. Livy's been on the phone for 12 months. I ain't having that. Livy's been here a long time. Thank you, Livy. Much appreciated. My membership, I say this quite frequently, but it bears repeating because it's very kind of people. My membership, it's like a couple of £100 appears in my bank. And I'm like, oh, thank fuck for that. Like, lovely. Just towards the end of the month. I don't know why. I think Google, when I got to set it up, I thought, well, that's probably a good idea. And it's like, oh, yeah. So they are really appreciated. Add a couple more members chats this week. Look out for those notifications. I'm trying to move the times around a bit because I know some people will be at work at different times, but they're good fun. And it's always interesting to watch someone not be able to work it out because I've done it as well. It's not me. It's not you. It's the software, it would appear. Anyway, I'm so glad there's 42 people in here, and I'm even more glad that 42's in. I mean, there will be more, don't worry, people. But I think it hadn't updated. When that music was playing, it said I had 4 people watching. I was like, hang on. I've been ill all week, but there's so much going on. I've got some wicked clips, and I've got some wicked things to say about them. So we're going to have a lovely one. Glass is on the phone. Did you see your mention today, Glass? I pushed the boat out a bit there, didn't I think. Exactly that, 42. Let them know it's worth coming over here. It's a great couple of hours. What a community. Absolutely love it. Sorry I haven't been streaming. The novel is now over 90,000 words, and I lost more content, but I'd learned from the previous time. That novel's going to be it'll be available on Amazon in November, if not before. And at $50 a copy, get yourself a couple. It won't be $50. It'll be about a $5, $10, $15. It'll be about £20. Anyway, but that's good. I'm very happy with it. I've had a couple of people who ain't beta readers, just mates, who said, go on, I'll give it a go. And they got back to me and they've said, you keep saying it's commercially viable. I'm like, yeah. They know, imagine the Overton window, but a personal one. I'm like, yeah. They said it's so not commercially viable. It's more commercially viable than what you usually write. But a book full of positive role models being page 3 stunners. I use Scrivener. I say page 3 stunner 92 times in that novel. Oh, it tickled me. Right, I'll tell you what. I say the magic word. Watch this. Penis. Hello, mate.
Hello.
Now, people, I've got to also tell you this about young Picard here. Look what he's done. We talked about it briefly last week, but he's got a background. He's lit. He's ordered a new microphone and camera. He looks like a fucking YouTuber. His environment looks like a YouTube environment. So I've got a green screen. I've had to buy a bloody green screen. I might even have to get a new bloody camera. Feel free to contribute if you want that to happen. But I have got a green screen, so that'll fill this part. So what Picard has done by, he does these things by accident. He's raised the bar. He's made me, after 12 years of YouTubing, realise that and other variations of that in other houses doesn't really count. I've just realised I've got my VPN on Mongolia. If I start buffering, I'll get rid of my VPN, but I quite like having it on. Chasworth nailed it. He has changed the format. He's done it. OG Scrubs will get that one. That's amazing. Yeah, now just the content and
delivery.
What is it?
Delivery, isn't it?
You're very quiet. That's me. It's me. It's not you. It's not me. JP's on the phone. Tricky Woo's on the phone. Wolfie's just rocked up. Oh, that's lovely. Sean, hello, mate. Long time. You should get a screen and then put my old house on the back.
That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, but you got to remember, I'm a post-structuralist. So what I'm more liable to do is get a green screen that's that. That's exactly. I thought I might as well just dance while it was going on. Look at that English rose. Good Lord, I know you. May I be a scrub again? English rose. Well, I'm going to have to throw that out to the scrubs. May English rose. Of course you can. That doesn't even need asking. What an absolute pleasure to see you again, my love. I hope you're well. Yeah, once a scrub, always a scrub. You know, yeah. You've proven yourself. You've earned your stripes. It's lovely to see you. I saw your little avatar before anything else, and I thought, I know her. Lovely. What was it? A fella, alcohol, job, none of the above? You don't have to tell us. Make something up if you want. I would. I'd say something like, I had a motorbike accident in the mountains of Colorado. Are there mountains in Colorado? That's the problem with lying, you see. Anyway, I promised a clip stream. I got all my clips lined up and then I got rid of them by accident. So in the last 3 minutes, I grabbed what I could remember. Not really. That's just a lie. That's just an out and out lie. Can everyone welcome English Rose back? Or if you remember her or if you want to, because she used to be a proper COVID days, like all around. There you go. A proper salute from Picard there. Hi, Humans A is in. Colt's also been away, and it's not. It is. You know, when I see people arriving, I'm like, oh, you know, I love streaming. I don't care if I don't get any money. I don't care if I get a lot of money. Well, I do actually, but I just like the community, because if I didn't have it, what a massive loss that would be to my life. It really would. And the amount of emails I've got over the years along the lines of, you've got me, your community, which isn't me, it's you lot, has got me through some hard times. No, man, absolutely love it. .42 wants me to get that reflective old house. I think that 142 is like a default. That was on the side of the Golden Book of Scrub Truths, but that book disappeared. This one's just white. Well, actually, weirdly, it goes gold, but nah. I'll do something that will give you a headache or something, you know, unnecessarily animated, or, you know, and everyone will be, can you turn that animation off? And I'll be like, yeah, of course. Like I did with the music last week. Right, we'll get the grifting out of the way. Top of the YouTube chat, buy me a coffee. That's probably the best one. You will get your moment in the sun as well, because I have it up live. And I would like to say that Jed's a cool geezer, people. I've had a couple of good chats with Jed, actually. He's already dropped one in the old stories. Sorry the videos were a bit late and knackered last time, but you get a reply. You get a video reply when you use Buy Me Coffee. But you've also got entropy up there. And at the bottom of the YouTube chat, you've got... super chats, of course. We all know what a super chat is. Yeah, you can also buy me a coffee using the QR code above Packer Z. He's going to point to it now. Yeah, first time, amazing. You put your camera over that, a little link will come up. Press that. Lovely. If I don't recognize it, if you make a donation on Entropy or Buy Me a Coffee and I don't mention it in a couple of minutes, put it in the chat and Packer will tell me, because weirdly he's actually found a job. He doesn't actually do nothing. He makes look at his studio. Look at him looking like a proper YouTuber. Look at me. Look, I feel like a squatter. I feel like I'm squatting on the internet. I'm going to start wearing a shirt as well. I know I said it before and I've done it once, but look, he's even got better lighting than me. I can't even see myself. Is that better? Packer, can you see me? Is it dark? I think. What about? Oh, that's too bright. That give me a headache. A couple of seconds. Anyway, right. Yeah. There's a difference in being able to see me and you know, Anyway, English Rose, lovely to see you. I hope you're well. I really do hope you're well. I made a little joke, actually. Can you see Borden? Is there one over there? Oi, Glass, check this out. Well, everyone. So people might remember Borden are the little geckos. There's some nights there'll be like 20 in my flat. Like, old Glass you're talking about previously. But like, it wouldn't be weird for me now to be able to see one or two. But they make this noise. They go... And I saw once that noise, you know, some people like me can do that with their thumbs. You can sort of like lock it and click. You can't really see it. Yeah, you know, it's sort of... Well, that's what they do with their tails. And it makes that noise. It's really loud. Like if there was one down the corridor there doing it, I'd hear it. But the female of the species goes... And that's her way of saying... Go on, show me a click. Show me a click and I'll decide. And I swear I've seen it so many times. It must be breeding season for those little fuckers because there's loads of little ones as well. They're so cute as well. My missus just picks them up and goes, oh, look, I got this. And I'm sort of eating my dinner going, no, you're all right. But I hear a... Then I look around and there's a woman. There's a female one like running going... And then the bloke stops and his tail goes, and then she runs again, and then she gives it that, and then he gives it a few clicks. I've never actually seen them at it. So they probably go somewhere like, you know, I don't know, nice little wine bar or something for geckos. And then one of the 30-minute hotels you can get around here. Why would you have a 30-minute hotel, man? They're like $3. It's a bed, a bin. There ain't even a shower in there. It's just get in there, get it in, get it out, and get out. The $3.50, I think they are. But I've seen that because sometimes they got nice little bars outside. Weird. And you'll see punters like trying to play it. So there'll be like this big fat American, right, with this like beautiful young Cambodian bird. And he's like, hi, I'd like to hire a room. I've got some work. He's got his laptop with him, like, and he's like, oh, I've got some work that he's doing. He said, I've been told that I can get an hour or maybe just a half. And the bloke just goes, 30 minutes, $3, jet 50 cents. I've got some work to do. What's the girl gonna do? Come on. I suppose it can be work sometimes, but I've never been like that. Excuse me, have you got somewhere I can fuck this woman, please? I think her meter's already running, so if you could hurry up. No, I'll collect my passport afterwards. Right, anyway, let's get some other hellos in. Turnaround mindset. Are you new here? You might not be. If you are, everyone will say hello to Turnaround Mindset, people. TM will do. I don't recognise the name, but it's lovely to have you here. Spanish Chicky, me old mucker, how are you? Hello, Steve, Mr. Cray. Charlie Sparkles. You can take the scrub out of Charlie, but you can't scrub Charlie up. You don't need to. She already sparkles. Oh, fucking hell, I nearly dug myself an hole there, but I got myself out of it like a dinosaur with furry fingers. Hoax is on the firm. Lovely to see. LC 350 has been lost to the world of lockpicking. That's it. That's all he does now. All he does is emails me, sends me pictures of boxes of locks. And the weird thing is, I'm like, wow. And then I get another email from him and it'll be a lock. And he'll go, look at this beauty. And I'm like, wow. And I get it. I was invited, I think I might have mentioned last week, I was invited, I got a seat at the table of one of the sort of the big guns of world lockpicking. Now, that's more interesting than it sounds because I was pretty much hated in the UK lockpicking scene because I set my company up and put loads of people out of business because I provided a better service than them and was cheaper because I thought that was fairer. That's all I did. All I did was think these people are having it off. This ain't right. And the service was terrible because I used them, you know, and I would get the tools and be like, what the fuck is this? And I'd email them and they'd just be like, well, you should have thought about that before you bought it. I mean, that that's not very good customer service, is it? I thought we can do something about that for a start. But in America, not so much. Anyway, I got invited by Christina Palmer, who's like the queen of lockpicking. And she turns out to be the most exciting, incredible, entertaining, filterless person in the world. So we've got this little live stream going. There's about 7 blokes in it, and there's Christina Palmer. She's about 70 or no, about 65. And we're all talking about lockpicking that, and she says you can make your own files. And so we're watching videos about making your own files, right? Now, I do like all that sort of stuff because I'm into lockpicking. And then suddenly she goes, I mean, I'm really into bondage. You see all these geezers, these lockpickers, like proper anoraks. They're like coming. They just go that they've actually heard a real life woman say it. And she said, oh, if I could have my time again, I'd be a bondage porn star. And she's not joking. She's just saying it. Like in Nanmite, you know, there's no sense of irony or they all ended up leaving and it was just me and her. And if I wasn't ill this week, I would have spoken to her all night. It's just endless humor. She's great fun. Nice when you meet someone who's a real laugh. Do you know what I mean? Bobby Ver has heard rumours of an English peaceful protest coming. If the 2025 illegal... Oh, that's interesting. I'll put it on the screen. I won't read it out, though, but have a look at that, people. I think Tommy Robinson's thing on the 13th is going to be colossal. I think that's going to be massive.
I don't want to peel it too much. They're going to shut London. They'll shut down London transport. You won't be able to get into central London. All of a sudden, there'll be no buses or trains.
Yeah, I know this because living in Soho for so long, if they've got to dig up a little bit of road to fix a telephone cable, London's gridlocked out to the M25. It's that simple. You know, as soon as you stop like Berwick Street, this little 1-lane road, it just goes. So yeah, and what's interesting me about that whole saga is how the media are going to not cover it. You know, I think, and that worries me because they are going to send down some people to pretend to be on our side, and they are going to get them to cause trouble. And then they've got an angle, and there was violence hang on. Today.
Bobby Ver says it's Notting Hill Carnival weekend. It's not, is it?
What?
It's just put it in the chat. I don't know.
I've been to it twice, and it was the most horrific. I don't even know how you can call it a festival. It's a show of power and hostility. Horrible place. Let me know in the...
I call it a mostly peaceful festival.
No, it ain't, no. It's dangerous as hell, especially if you got a bird with you. It's horrible. I remember when I was about 16, I was 17. My missus was 16. She was getting groped at any geezer of a certain type was just grabbing hold of her, pulling her, you know, just fully, just sexual harassment. And she said, "Can we go home?" But you can't because you can't get out. You know, it's chocker from the tube station to you're stuck there. It's going to take at least 4 hours to get out of sexual harassment. And you try and do anything to stop it. Yeah, give that a go when you're 16, little white boy. Yeah, good luck. Horrible. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. Once I even had I remember the first time I went, I see there's people who live there along the route, and the shops in front of them, they get out on the roofs of the shops with a few deck chairs. So they're having it off, really. They're just in their houses and they can just go home, put some earplugs in, go to bed. But I had that once with the geezer who lived there and a few mates. And even then we decided to fuck off and go and do something else because it's just not a nice thing to watch. It's not nice. I mean, I'm sure there are some people who enjoy it, but, you know, the fact that if you want to have a little rally, you have to get all this permission, and you can't go there, you can't go here, it's too dangerous. With the old Notting Hill Carnival, they pretty much get what they want. And it is a very dangerous environment. I mean, what the stabbings are through the roof every year, the muggings, the thieving, and not a fan, I have to say. But like I say, I should say this because I'm on the tubes. It might just be my experience of it. It might not always be like that for everyone else.
I've never been, but only because I'm not a fan of steel drums. In the same way, I'm not a fan of bagpipes.
But I'll tell you,
and I'm just like, no.
But the first time I went Packer, about 1986, there was a lot of steel drums. The last time I went, just gabba. Just like, oh, it's just aggression. Just aggression. It's like a show of power, which I understand. I get that. I understand why that would happen. In the sort of cultural situation why wouldn't you get that? That's what Tommy Robinson's trying to do on the 13th, obviously. But whereas one tribe is allowed to do it, it's celebrated, it's on the news, it's considered a great thing, whereas the other one is far right. I want to define I'm going to make a video about defining far right, because the far left has got a description, isn't it? It's called communism. But I've decided I might start describing myself as a far right Marxist. I just want to deal with English Rose here, because this English Rose's mum died, had an affair, hit the bottle. There's no shame in any of that. I'm not saying that you've got it, but yeah, life. I done that. My dad died. I had 2,000 affairs, and I ate everything for about 30 years. So I know where you're coming from. Back on your feet. That's the hard part. And you've learned from it, and bless you, English Rose. I hope you're well. The best thing you could do is what you've done. Get away from it. Know that. Accept it. Forgive yourself, and then forget yourself and get on with life. Bless you. Lovely to see you. That's very brave to say that as well. No shit, did I guess Colorado had mountains? That must have been sitting somewhere within mine. And then he said camp. Right, we will get on to the clips. There was something else. Listen, if I said this to you, right, think of the situation in Western Europe, yeah? Now, please listen. What an odd thing to say on a stream that you're watching. Imagine you went, oh, sorry, I was just listening to some music. Imagine I said to you there was a load of writing that some very intelligent people looked at and thought about for centuries. And they put it into action and it worked. And it was an explanation how you can get a people that are being taken the piss out of by the state, being taken the piss out of by ideological apparatuses like the judiciary, like the police, like the education system. And now you can get them together and take over, get that power. And that system that has been written about has been proven to work. That's a fact. That's a Marxist revolution. Now, organizing society after that along the lines of a communist system, I've got no time for whatsoever. People die in the millions. But the first bit, actually, there's a Hungarian writer called George Lukács, son of an aristocrat. I think he was anyway. Classic champagne socialist, caviar communist. But he wrote a book, or is it an essay? And it's called something like Class Consciousness and the Reification of the Proletariat. Reification is the making real of an abstract concept. So if you look at the native Brits as a group, we don't see ourselves as that. They've taken that away from us. Some of us do. And those numbers are increasing rapidly for obvious reasons. But what Marx said, what Engels said, what Lukács said, what countless other Marxists said, was if you can reify class consciousness, if you can just let people know they are part of a group, they are a collective, that power, that the state's got nothing on that. The state needs that. The state and all its ideological apparatus, and now we're talking of another Marxist. I know this is weird, and I know this won't land well, but it's been proven. What's his name? He wrote, "Ideology is your artificial relationship with the real means of production, the real mode of production." What's his name? Anyone in the chat? No, that's a long shot, isn't it? Pags might. What's his name? He shot his wife and got away with it. Got away with it sounds weird, doesn't it? So did William Burroughs. William Burroughs used to get his wife.
O.J. Simpson. Is it O.J. Simpson? Is that what you're talking about?
It's not O.J. Simpson. No, I see where you're going with that, though. Well, you're not going anywhere. I see where you went with it. They used to call it the William Tell game, and they'd be all pissed up and that, and on Benzedrine and whatever. And his missus would put an apple on her head, and they'd get his shooter out, old William Burroughs, and just sort of go, "Don't move, and just that's it. There you go, plastering Jedi." Is that the same? No, not the same as who I thought it was. Phil Spector. I'll remember his name in a minute. Yeah, he missed the apple. Let's just say he missed the apple. But yeah, back in the day, you could just get away with, shooting your wife. Anyway, he wrote a book, this other Marxist I'm thinking about, where he talks about repressive state apparatus and ideological state apparatus. So weirdly, all that stuff's there. It really is there. And when I was reading it, I was thinking, for me, it's a bigger. Oh, how do you say this then? I can't remember how you say it. It's a problem as big as the right's angle on mental illness. Like, you know how I feel about mental illness. I don't believe it exists, but the right continually call on it. I see it all the time. This is why we've got so much mental illness. No, it's far more insidious. It's far more insipid. It's far more arranged to cause problems in the way you're not seeing. And the baby with the bathwater with a lot of those early Marxist texts. Christopher Hitchens described himself as a Marxist conservative. And I don't support at all any of their solutions. But the problem we have got at the moment in Western Europe, and the problem that we're seeing slowly change in our favour, is a collective consciousness. A collective consciousness, and that stuff is out there. That stuff's been written about. That stuff's been tried. They overthrew, the Russian peasants overthrew the aristocracy. They've done it in Cambodia. They've done it in China. You can't argue that. Then they implemented one of humanity's most evil social architectures, but you don't have to do the second bit. It was Louis Althusser. It absolutely was Louis Althusser. Yeah, Louis Althusser wrote a book called Ideology, and I think it might just be called Ideology. But he talks about repressive state apparatus, which is basically the military, the old bill, but also ideological state apparatus, which is your judiciary, your education, your media. It's a fantastic book. He defines ideology as your artificial relationship with the real mode of production. I think there's a lot of stuff in there that could be made a hell of a lot. A lot of use could be made out of that stuff. I mean, there was an Austrian painter who was a socialist. Let's not forget that. I'm just dropping that in there. He wasn't only a nationalist. There goes the channel. Anyway, I just wanted to show this because young Jed, he popped this up on before the stream even started, and it's much appreciated. Cheers, Jed. He also recommended a movie. So your screen sharing was cancelled. Thanks. Cheers. I remember pressing show screen, but I don't remember pressing cancel it. There you go. Thank you, Jed. Lovely fella. Oh, Jed, I haven't actually read the message because I saw it just before the stream. But thanks for the donation, mate. They're thin on the ground. I'm losing air. Let's get on to these clips. Let's start having a look. And we've got some crackers. We've even got some musical ones. Now, some of these have been sent to me. Hang on, I've got to show you something else. This does count as a clip. Don't worry, people. I will do it. This will be quite a long stream. Donation depending. But I just want to... So ChatGPT, Packer, I only do it because I see your face every time. It makes me laugh so much. So ChatGPT 5 was released, and a lot of people... Hello, Johnny boy. How are you, son? Young at heart. Nice. It's a good gag. I don't know a lot of me young, to be honest with you. I studied Freud. Exactly that, JP. I think we'll leave that conversation for a different platform. I'll tell you what, people, Substack, it's so based. It is the most based platform on the internet. Now, I just write literary fiction on there, but you go to the notes section, which is like Twitter, 99% what everyone else would call far right. Really? And they don't censor anything. Obviously, they're going to censor calls for violence, but they don't. Get over there, and while you're there, read some of my stories and leave a comment and share and like and subscribe. It's all free. But I'll prove it. Right now. Let me open up Substack. I've got a Substack, literary fiction. It's totally free. I wonder whether when I open it up, it'll be on my page. That would be weird, wouldn't it? Just to give you a little glimpse. But no, I'm going to prove it, right? I'll prove it. And I think this might interest you. Right, so that's my Substack, yeah? But if I go over here and I go home. So this here, this is like your sort of, like your Twitter. So there's Musk and Millet. He's called Future Dad. Good bloke, actually. I'm going to learn to ride a horse, people, I've decided. Yeah, look at this. Next one, Restore Britain is the first thing there, right? And then they've got Thingy Bob talking about whatever. We won't go there now. Alice England talking about working class families. You got to see more. It's a long thing talking about being called, we've got rescued babies from PDF files and all that. Talking about the definite anti-white agenda. Next one down, the inclusive universalist death box. And talking about Western civilization and Christianity. I'm telling you, look at this, look. Look, Christianity is the dam to all these things. And it just goes on and on. Look, arguments about it, and all free and open as well. Look, England doesn't have a far-right problem. It has a problem of dominant liberal class that has endured legitimate mainstream concerns over blah, 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 immigration and blah, blah, blah. Now is experiencing the blowback. And it just goes on and on. It's fantastic. I recommend you get over there. It's surprising. You're like, hang on, are we just having difficult conversations here, and we're allowed to, and I'm not, it might be worth anonymizing yourself if
so this is like a chat thing on Substack, like a Twitter.
It's like it's called Substack Notes,
a stacker, if you will, rather than a Twitter.
Me and Mumford used to call an erection a stacker, so that's a bit weird. We could call it that.
In that case, then I'll call it that from now on.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? No way has Brad dropped a Lady Godiva. Day one of Pointless Rumours. Chris was in a Communards tribute act, but he was sued by his own fans because he was too tall to be Jimmy Somerville. Brad, you can say anything. Brad's got a Substack, by the way. I've noticed I haven't been getting my email filled up with so many of your work. It's good to see you writing so much, though, Brad. Thank you, Brad. I do like Hometown Boy, though. And I do. Come on, who doesn't like? What's the Communards classic? Oh, baby, my heart is full of love, and is that for you? Oh, the amount of virgins I deflowered with that going on in the background on a dirty lawn outside the Air Cadets Hall. Those were the days. Yep. Thank you, Bradley. It's always the streams where I'm too knackered to know what I shouldn't be saying. Bronski Var. That's it. Don't leave me this way. It is a classic. Come on. The gays have given good things to culture, without a doubt. I'll tell you what, you put that Hometown Boy on, I think it's called that, the video where he's on the train and he's looking out the window and he's got his little, he looks like, what's his name, doesn't he? What's the French cartoon of Asterisk? He looks like him and he goes, oh,
he looks like Tintin.
Yeah, Tintin, that's it. Who's Asterisk? His dog.
Now, you're thinking of Asterix and Mobilix?
Asterisk and the Ghoul.
Mobilix.
I think
that's
part of Tintin, isn't it?
No.
It doesn't matter. Stop talking, please, forever. Go back to how you were before. So Lucy Connolly is free. Anyway, so that was Substack. Go and check that out. If you want to read some of my stories and you are new around here, the link to my Substack is the top link in the description. It's all free. There's 38 over there. Anyway, what have I got to show you? Thank you, Keep Bexhill Weird, for this. Now, a little bit of background before I give you this. Francis Foster is the pet dog on Trigonometry. He's Konstantin Kissing's dog. And when they first set up, they were essentially a woke podcast. I mean, they were calling their show Trigonometry. You know, that had all gone. That was 10 years before, lads. And they were calling me and the iconoclast and everyone really racists and Nazis for stuff that is keeping them in lots of money now. And that's good. I'm happy they've changed. I'm happy they've matured politically and intellectually to an extent. But Francis got all angry with me, and a lot of scrubs will know. He put on X, he put, "Why have you become so bad? You saved my life." I haven't got a clue what he's talking about. I don't know if he's got the wrong bloke or whatever. I do know him. We used to do comedy together years ago. Well, not together, but I'd see him at gigs and talk to him or whatever. I think I told him to stop drinking or something, and maybe he was drinking too much, and he did stop, and that's what he means by he was just trying to emotionally blackmail me, basically, and he can fuck off. I don't buy that shit. Anyway, once Posey Parker was on there, and I watched it because I like Posey, and I noticed that Francis didn't say a word. He just barked like a seal. every sort of 10 minutes. He went, and I thought, I'm going to make a video of only Francis's contributions. And I did it. I edited out everything else and just had Francis. Hour and a half video. It was about 2 minutes, 40 seconds. That was his entire contribution to the video. And about half of that was him going, I couldn't put it live. I couldn't do it. Even though I've got every reason. He called me a smelly little racist and a Nazi on his channel without the right to reply. But I just couldn't do that to someone. I just thought that would hurt him too much. So I just forgot about it. And Keith Bexhill Weird linked me to this earlier. Have a look at this. You'll like this. I don't think there's anyone in the chat who won't enjoy this. Nice to see 85 people here. Lovely to see you. Hope I'm helping to improve your Friday evening. Check this out. I didn't make this, by the way. Lord knows who made it. I'll get rid of me and Packer's head so you get a bit more of a bigger shot of it. Here we go. Volume is up.
Right, it's not necessarily political. I don't know whether an army should reflect society.
I don't give a shit if it reflects society. I don't care. I want the army to be good at doing its job. Why does every institution have to be a tool?
What am I doing on this show?
Social engineering, effectively.
What is my purpose here? Does anybody know? What have I to offer? What's inside my head? Should I be listening to what that other bloke just said? What should I say? I'm at a loss. If I start talking now, will Constantine be cross? Or haven't read the news or studied any books? Constantine's the brains of this, so I must be the looks. I know that there will come a day when I will come up with a clever thing to say. And when I say it, everyone will know what I am doing on this show.
Sorry, Francis. I just
go for
to follow up on that. We, as far as I mean, I didn't know you had this here. I don't know if we have in the UK. We did have some kind of
That's got to be brutal. I mean, I feel for him. Someone in the chat said that, hello, Am66, by the way. Bobby Ver reckons that Francis is secretly based. The thing about Francis is he ain't too bright, Bobby. I don't know how well you know him. Excuse me, but he's not too bright. You know, spend an evening with him. He'll agree with you by the end of the night. You know, anything. So secretly based as in he could be convinced in a matter of hours. So I sort of agree with you. I'm just checking entry. Oh, good Lord, Brick Dictator. Wait, Brick Dictator has dropped a tenner. And he says, make this a good one, Packer. I'm mowing the lawn. Packer's show. For fuck's sake. Even looks like it now and all. Nice one, Brick Dictator. Let me get a screen grab. It's only fair that you get your time in the sun. Thank you for that, Brick Dictator. You know, at the start of my videos, some of the videos I've been making recently, there's like Asian girls going, oh, Chris Dangerfield has made a new video. I can't wait. And there's another one. Oh, Chris Dangerfield's got a new book coming out. Well, he's made me another one. It's about 2 minutes long. And it's like all figures throughout history going, Chris Dangerfield's new book is coming out in November. That will be everywhere. Everywhere. And he's just knocking them out for me. It's great stuff. It's great stuff. So if you do see this, Brick Dictator, you know I reply to emails and tell you how happy and thankful I am for you making those videos, but a donation is also much appreciated. Well, I'll save that for nearer the time, that video. It is very good. It's very good. Like you know, famous film moments, famous sort of political and cultural figures. It's rather cool. There you go, Brick Dictator, $10. Make this a good one, Packer. I'm mowing the lawn. He's a top geezer, actually. He made a video out of Lego for my Lockpicking channel. And that was also great. Must have taken fucking ages. And he also puts me onto good software. He's just generally a good lad, Brick Dictator. He's Anglo-Saxon on the firm. Everyone's saying hello to him. Hello, mate. Nice to see you. VC's in here. Lovely. Pizzle's here. Barrett Zippo's turned up. Anglo's in. We've hit the magic 100. No way. Now, there is one more grift that I forgot to mention. It's the Scrubs wall. It is quite expensive, though. For 20 quid. So I'm building an house in the jungle. Oi, we looked at the prices today. My missus, she can't read or write properly or speak. She can fuck though, so who cares? And it works fine. It works. It's a great relationship. I've never been in love so much in my life. And a little bit demanding though, to be honest with you, being at my age with all the work and that. But she wrote down how much these houses were going to cost. And it was $195,000. All right, we've already built the footings and we've already bought the land and built the footings. And I went, listen to it again, love, and write it down. So she listened again. She's writing it down in English, bless her. $195,000. And I'm like, and I'm thinking, yeah, I made 26 quid yesterday on my investment, so that's a start. And then she went, oh, no, 19,500 for a whole fucking house. I'll show you it. Yeah, do you know what I mean? I can raise that in 2 years, I reckon. I reckon this book will raise me after that, and I'm serious. I have to be, because if you're not ambitious, you won't achieve anything. If you think, I might sell 30 copies, well, you'll likely sell 30 copies. No, man, I'm fat and bless all the scrubs that have written to me, offering their services, doing campaigns in the UK. I'm going to do a sticker campaign. I've got a couple of other ideas, and I've had 4 scrubs write to me, say, just let me do it. And I said to them, I'll buy you a beer, but you know, I ain't got a lot of money for marketing. 3 out of the 4 of them got back to me and said, I'll do it for nothing. I'll be happy to be involved. That's what I mean by community. And you know, we've all done that for each other in here at certain points. We've helped each other out. Anyway, back to the Scrubs wall. So the Scrubs wall is, when this house gets built, I'm going to etch the names of everyone who wants their name etched in it. That ain't it. That's the old one. Oh, I can only find the old one, but it's not as impressive as the new one. There's about 35 people on it, but it looks sort of something like that. And we're on the next page as well. So you'll get, I mean, there will be bricks as well if we use this house that we were looking at today. So you'll get a whole brick with your Scrub's name in it, 20 notes. That's the end of tonight's grifting. It looks like someone else has donated as well. Good Lord, how amazing is that? Or it might be someone's been on the firm. No, why has Pags dropped 10 spot? Half a brick. Pags, you can't pay in installments, but you are Pags. Let me think about it. The problem there is, Pags, people are going to start donating 2 quid and say, "Oi, Packer just shook his head, Pags.
No, because it'll get complicated really quick. There'll be people paying £2 a week, and there'll be people paying £5 a week, and
that's what I was saying.
Going and
over the last 3 months, I've paid 20. Can I have a brick now? And I'll be like, I don't know. I can get that back to you, Pagsy. I can't do half a brick. I think you're only joking anyway, because that's the sort of guy you are. There he is. Thank you, though, Pags. When I'm there with my bolster and my chisel, who knows what? What do you want? Do you want pa or do you want gz? Oh, lovely. Right. What else have I got? Hello, Mr. Teej. What a pleasure. There you go, Pizzle. Quarter of a brick. I'm a pensioner. So am I, and I don't know. No one's a pensioner anymore because there's no money left. Right. Thank you, Brick Dictator. Thank you, Pags. I'll tell you what, it cheers me up no end. Right, so we've done that one. Now, a lot of people have sent me this geezer. He's putting out shorts. He's a young American musician. Now, I reckon about 40-50% of the chat has already worked out who it is. Hang on. The packer just sent me a private message, people. I will take it in. I will take it on. Turnaround mindset. I mean, what about it? Oh, you're talking to Tej. Okay, not a problem. Mousecat says there will be the odd half brick on the corners. Yeah, but I'll be gold leafing those. That was quick thinking, wasn't it? Just to make the border more sort of spectacular. The Scrubs wall is the best grift in YouTube history, and I don't give a fuck what anyone says. The fact that it's actually worked is amazing. We'll be doing the Scrubs floorboards next weekend. Right. As a young American singer-songwriter, he's been putting out videos. His channel has blown up like nobody's business. He looks about 13. I'm going to guess he's about 18. Based is an understatement. He knows the platform. He knows that he's got to play. There you go. That's better than wall of grift. All in all, you're just another grift in the wall. Check out this fella. It's 3 minutes 55. I doubt it's copywritten. I doubt it's copyrighted. Sorry. No, it isn't. That's beautiful. So we're going to have a 4-minute song. If I remember rightly, the lyrics are subtitled hard. They're hard subtitles, so I can't get rid of them, which is good because the lyrics are actually fantastic. All his songs. There's a couple of love songs, of course. That, it's lovely to sing about love. But you were one of many, Barrett. Look at Barrett wanting a little bit of glory. Was I one of the people who sent you this one? You were. Yes, you were. But anyway, check him out, people. It's great. Hello, Jackson French. Good Lord. Long time. Are you building it yourself? No, mate. I'm a writer. I can't fucking build a table. I tell you what, I couldn't build a lump of wood that I bought. If I bought a lump of wood and took it home, at some point it wouldn't be a lump of wood anymore, and that would be on me. But I do appreciate. Oh, you know what? Look, I tell you what, Jackson. Thanks for the offer, because I was originally saying to my missus, I wanted a traditional Cambodian house up on like 20-foot poles, like made out of like meshed. A bit like a thatched roof. My missus said to me, they're a nightmare. She said they get eaten by termites. They're fire hazards. She said people only had them because they had no money. She said, they cost like 30 quid. And she said, she gets the idea that it all looks lovely and, she said, but fuck living in one of them. She said, you don't like insects? She said, those roofs are pretty much just... There's more spider than roof. I'm not talking about harvest spiders here, but I'm literally, actually, honestly talking about tarantulas. and their 100 babies. No. So anyway, but I said to my missus, it might be worth getting like an Auf Wiedersehen pet, get a team out, because I know plenty of people in the UK, like plasterers, bricklayers, all that lot, getting a crew out here, building a little place for them to live while they build it and all that. But when I saw the price today, I'll show you later. I'll show you the house and you'll see it. And for 19,000, that's dollars. So it's actually about 14 grand for a fucking house. Yeah, all right, I'll take it. Because this is my last chance of an house. You know, I'm too old to be earning any more money, like significant amounts. I'm never going to. This will be the house that I die in. Yeah, that went downhill, didn't it? I'm sorry about that. We're all going to die. Pags has dropped the other half. Pags, let me know in the chat what you want. Do you want Pags? Do you want Pagan? I can't do Michael Pagan. Sorry. I can do M Pagan. Pags is probably better. It's your scrub's name. Let us know. You obviously don't have to donate to let us know. Packer will let me know if he wants to. I'm trying to ask him to without asking him to do anything. You know what I mean, don't you, Packer? Nice one, Pags. I'll draw your square, but this is the old list. But I will put you on the new list when I know. Oh no, this is a new one because Doc Shelley done it last time. Right, you got your brick. I just need you to
Pags
have a little PAGS, Pags. That's the one.
Will do.
Nice one, Pags. Much appreciated. That ain't a small amount of money in these. Well, in any days. I think the Scrubs wall is. I love it. Right, check out this geezer's song. It's going to be 4 minutes, but I think you're going to enjoy this. I'm going to turn my mic off and get me and Packer off the screen. Yeah, look how old he is. And look what the song's called. You'll see because it'll be the first thing that comes up. I will not interrupt it. I know I always say that and always do, but I won't. I'm going to play Packer laughing. I will play the old song. Packer, can you see it on the screen? What? What the hell's going on here? Right, Bosch, share screen. Entire screen. Press that. And audio, share. There you go. That's more like it. Look what the song's called, people. Hello, Willow. Nice to see you. An absolute pleasure. Right, here we go. Let's roll VT, shall we? I'm going to mute myself.
Upon a missile rode the Lord, roaring justice is the sword. He was melting off the faces of the damned. You have heard of Noah's flood, that tale will pale against the blood, pouring out and boiling in uranium sands. Don't you know atomic power is just God's celestial shower? There are those that he has chosen and those that he has not. There are many who will die in the Lord's plan by and by, but it won't be you or I, thanks to the great Caucasian God. I said, Lord, be thou near. Blot out everything that's strange to me, everything that's queer. I said, Lord, don't be far. I am in need of a friend indeed, the great Caucasian God. Does not the Lord abide in Texas, down in Waco, and the rest of every Israel that hubris ever claimed? Don't the Lord abide in prisons full of men with holy visions? Don't the Lord abide in every tent and cave? Does not the Lord abide in bunkers every rifle without number, every ruby ridge in Rittenhouse and home. Does not the Lord abide in fear, in tactical gear? Don't the Lord abide in every hell-bent soul? I said, Lord, be thou near. Blot out everything that's strange to me, everything that's queer. I said, Lord, don't be far. I am in need of a friend indeed, the great Caucasian God. I want to take a moment to talk with y'all about death. There are many that fear death coming quick and swift in the night, taking from them the toil of their hands and the fruits of their labor. But I say unto you today, there ain't a crueler trick that death has played on man than fooling a man into thinking that while his soul is dead inside, he is in fact alive on the outside. There is a foolish generation squander all their fathers gave them. They are running out of time left to enjoy. They would kill and eat their own if the TV told them so. So they're keen to watch the world burn just to prove a point. And I said, Lord, be thou near. Blot out everything that's strange to me, everything that's queer. I said, Lord, don't be far. I am in need of a friend indeed, the great Caucasian God. I am in need of a friend indeed, the great Caucasian God.
Obviously, where are we? What's going on here? Why can't I see me and Paco? Hang on. Obviously, loads of jokes about Barclay's hair's grown a bit too long there. Some very funny things. Someone said he was digging out ice the other day. I think he's written a song called Join Ice. And Mousecat mentioned there's him busking in the streets and he gets moved along, which is probably better than getting locked up, which he probably will soon. But see you later, Pizzle. You off out, son? All right. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I'll put a link to his channel in the chat because there's plenty more songs. His name's Jesse Wells. Someone said it reminds him of Billy Strings. I'm a real fan of Billy. Billy Strings is a far more proficient player, though, and he's a guitar player. Billy Strings does a song called Dust in a Baggie. It's probably the only ballad I've ever heard to crystal methamphetamine. But Billy Strings is great. If you haven't heard Billy Strings, brilliant. But yeah, Jesse Wells, give him a follow, show him some love. This is the next generation. This is the generation that could save us. When we're all old age pensioners, it'll be this lot that are keeping the walls from the door, so to speak. So there you go, people. There's his the outlaw Jesse Wells, 42, on fire, absolutely locked, stocked, cocked, and barreled. Great call. Oh, I've never heard him play harmonica. How are you, Mousecat? All right, son. Mousecat's been writing me some incredible emails lately. I better not say it, because his missus might be around, but he's meant to be learning Spanish, but he's just reading loads of classic literature. I've never thought I'd see the day when Mousecat's talking to me about Foucault and David Foster Wallace. I love it so much. Anyway, that link's in the chat. Go and show him some love. Now, it's a diversion. Okay, that's interesting.
It's amazing what you'll do to do something instead of what you're supposed to be doing, Mousecat.
Yeah, there's nothing like procrastination to get something else done, is there?
Yeah.
Well, what's the saying about procrastination? Why leave till tomorrow something you can do in 2 weeks? She comes on this channel, well, not her, thankfully, but a conversation about her, usually every 3 years. It's that part of the cycle. If Rose English is still here, she's probably thinking, wow, it's exactly the same as when I left it. But we've got to... Pardon?
We've covered this.
What, on another stream?
Yeah, that's what we used to say when you
there you go. Yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant like you and Sentinel 42 or something, or Dave's Waffle House or something. Yeah. So we all know that Kate Smurfweight. Now I've got a bit of history with her because I was doing comedy when she was. I was just a lot more successful. Smurfweight essentially.
I've got to call you there. When was she doing comedy?
No, that's all. I get the joke. I get it. Fair point. I've just farted. I hope you haven't heard that. I should have. It's still going. Stop now. She's essentially bankrolled her own career, like booking venues that she can't half fill, and I've got to be careful because she has had some litigation in the past. Someone once told me, he said the thing that people don't know is she sued. Now this is all hearsay. This is what's the word that you have to say, Packer? Allegedly she sued an employer, probably for someone said hello love, and she put them out of business. And apart from her appearance on Can't Cook, Won't Cook, which is the most cringe thing you'll ever see, she's a terrible comic, like terrible. You know, people used to come out of her shows just going, I just thought it was never going to stop. In the comedy scene, she's considered a laughing stock, which is obviously ironic, but you know what I mean. So she recently had no one go to her free show at the Edinburgh Fringe. And she had a morning show for children. You know, give me your nation's children. We all know the ideology there. And no one went to that as well. No one went to her 2 free shows. Now, I've got friends at the Edinburgh Fringe who are smashing it. They're saying, oh, no, packed out every night. I sold out 2 years on the trot. There were people being turned away from my shows because they were excellent. And she blamed Oasis. Now, here's the thing. I don't think that Oasis gig was like selling tickets on the door. I don't think people were walking up the Royal Mile in Edinburgh and went, oh, look, Kate Smurfweight's got a gig on. And then they saw a poster saying Oasis and went, Smurfweight, Oasis. Let's see if they've got a few tickets. No, that had probably sold out months ago, if not a year ago. But she was claiming that because Oasis were playing, she didn't get any seats. It's weird. Anyway, so we'll have a little look at what Baring had to say about her, and then we'll have what. Go on, Packer.
There would have been people turn up hoping to get tickets to Oasis that didn't. Therefore, she's more likely to give away free tickets to her shit comedy show because there's people there looking for something to do.
At the Edinburgh Fringe, in any given hour, there's about 80 shows you can see. And I would suggest she's probably about number 79 on that list. You know, I mean, I could tell you so many funny stories about things that have been said, but I don't want to give. Anyway, let's see what Baring said about it because Baring's funny anyway. But then she responds to herself. But it's so that let's just crack on with Baring and then we'll see what old Smurfweight has got to say about herself. which is always interesting. Here we go. You all know Bearing, the Aussie.
Kate Smurfcake is a feminist comedian from the UK. Now, we've spoken about Kate many, many times on this channel. She's actually somewhat of a channel favourite. Now, Kate has been kind of lying low recently. I think the last time we spoke about her, she went to like the Cambridge Free Speech Union thing and tried to convince everyone that like communism is actually good. It was a disaster. Now, Kate has been recently doing gigs at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. The Edinburgh Fringe Festival is like a comedy festival, like the Montreal Comedy Festival, like the Melbourne Comedy.
The Edinburgh Fringe, it's called the Fringe because it used to be like a culture festival, and loads of comedians thought, well, let's just get up there. We can do gigs like, you know, wherever we can. We can just find a little bit of street theatre and do a gig. But the comedy grew and grew and grew and grew. And now the Edinburgh Fringe is the biggest comedy festival in the world, right? That's how relevant that. It's not just another comedy festival. It's the biggest comedy festival in the world. But it certainly was when I was there, when I was filling my room. I'm so proud.
Festival, you get it. But Kate has not been having a good time. You see, a couple of days ago, she put on a show that sold precisely 0 tickets. Now, that's not the funny part. Well, it's kind of funny, to be honest. The funny part is who she blames. Does she blame the patriarchy? Does she blame the haters?
It's actually worse than that because, like I said, she does the free fringe. You can go in for nothing. What you do is on the way out, you hold a bucket. And if people enjoyed your gig, they'll put a few quid in your bucket. Like some people after a gig get like 20 quid. But I've done shows where people are putting 20s, and I had a geezer put £100 in my bucket once. It was quite funny though. I'd done a show called Sex with Children, which was some of my sexual abuse as a child. It's not your standard content for stand-up comedy, but it was a fucking good show. And at the end of the show I said, now you know this is the free fringe, so you haven't had to pay, but like in a restaurant, when you go into a restaurant you don't pay, you eat your meal and you pay afterwards. And if you were not to pay afterwards and just leave, you're essentially stealing. And if you don't put money in my bucket, not only are you stealing, you're stealing from a victim of sexual abuse as a child. And it worked a treat. It absolutely worked. I took about $8,000 home after that 30 days. It was amazing. Anyway, so it's a free show. 2 free shows a day and no one went.
Does she blame the economy? No, she doesn't blame any of them. She blames Oasis. Yes, the 90s rock band Oasis. It's incredible. Let's have a look. Let's go!
So I'm here at the Banshee Labyrinth, still in costume.
Right, the Banshee Labyrinth is a venue far too big for Kate Smurfweight. She can't fill that room. It's just too big. She thinks she's better. She thinks she's more famous because like Sky News get her on because she always rage quits. But to get no one, so this is her complaining. She even shows you the empty room.
25 minutes after my show should have started, and this is the Oasis effect.
Oh, guys! I'm sorry. Guys, I've got my show lined up. I've got all my feminist talking points. I've got my lesbian costume on. I can't figure it out. It must be fucking Oasis.
Her show, by the way, was called Suffragent. That is Suffragent. I mean, it just oozes hilarity, doesn't it?
That's what it is. Oasis did this.
So I did a couple of hours flyering as I usually would. That would usually get me a good crowd. And
right, here's another thing. I did a couple of hours flyering as I usually would. I can't say this for sure, but I've never seen Smurfweight flyering, and everyone flyers, but a lot of people pay people to flyer. And when you pay people to flyer, They hand someone a flyer, and they, without saying it, they say, "Can you put this in the bin in about 5 meters down the road?" When I used to flyer, my show would start about 7 o'clock. Good slot, early evening. People have had a couple of beers, but not too much to make it too rowdy. And I would start flyering at midday, and you essentially have to do a bit of an act. So when you see like a group of 4 or 5 people coming towards you, you have to. They're going to get 100 flyers just walking down the Royal Mile or down on Cowgate. They're the 2 main flyering areas. There's a comedian every 5 meters with a big stack of flyers. So unless you do some kind of performance, like I'd go, right, stop. I say, look, I know you're going to get loads of flyers, but in my show, the woman across the road put 100 pegs on my ball bag when I was 5 years old. If they buy it, I'll say something else, and you do a little. You're selling them the show. Just handing someone a flyer and going, "Come to my gig, it's very good." Yeah, fuck it. You might as well just throw them all in the bin. Couple of hours flyering, I'm not surprised you got no one. And I reckon she probably paid other people to do it. I can't say for sure. I can find out though, and I'll get back to you on that.
I could tell it wasn't working. Big groups of people in Oasis shirts coming past.
Kate, it's fucking Oasis. I mean, I've never been like a huge Oasis fan, but you handed out flyers. I mean, one of the...
And if I'm giving out flyers for my Edinburgh show and Oasis are playing, I'm not going to give them out to people wearing Oasis t-shirts because they're here to see fucking Oasis. It's ridiculous. This is so ridiculous. And the only reason she's done it, I think thank you, Anglo. That's very, very unkind of you. But I sort of see your point though. But you're also dragging Packer into that. So, I'm just diluting it a bit. But, I think she done it because I might almost be giving her too much credit. But she might have done this because it's so ludicrous, it give her a little bit of exposure. Because that's all she wants. She wants to be famous. That's what Smurfweight wants. She wants to be famous. That's all.
Biggest rock band of the 90s and 2000s haven't played together for fucking 16 years. They've got like awards dripping out of their assholes. And you're a feminist who complains about shit and you handed out fucking flyers. I mean, look, there's nothing wrong with handing out flyers. I used to be in a punk band. In our early days, we used to like hand out flyers. There's nothing wrong with that. But if we played to an empty room one night, I wouldn't be like, oh, fucking Blink 182 were in town that night. Fuck them. I mean, they stole all the audience. I was handing out fucking flyers. Jesus Christ, what's the world come to? Wow, you are fucked in the head. And anyway, I don't think it's because Oasis were in town. I think it might be because you're a feminist comedian who just complains about shit,
No interest in hearing about my show or anybody else's show that was out there advertising my children's show this morning.
Right, that's not true. I've got plenty of comic friends and they said they're getting plenty of, sometimes you play to 10 people, sometimes you have a touch. Sometimes you get, you get a bit of a snowball effect and you can't, there's no standing room left in your venues. There's people doing all right up there. This is ridiculous to suggest no one's getting views because Oasis are playing in the same city. There you go, Mousecat. I mean, it's not, you don't have to be a master of marketing to understand that people who are there to see Oasis aren't, Smurfweight or Oasis. I mean, we bought the tickets at 150 quid a pop. Let's just bin them and go and watch Suffragette.
Also cancelled due to 0 audience members showing up. And I'm also aware of performers losing.
I talked over that. She also had to cancel her morning show because no one came. And I'm laughing because she's horrible. She said some horrible things about people. She said some horrible things about me. She thinks she's the queen of comedy. She's so far up her ass that unlucky Schadenfreude is a thing and you have to suffer it. You put yourself out in public, you get this. This is part of the game, love. Sweetheart.
Due to 0 audience members showing up. And I'm also aware of performers losing their accommodation because landlords have suddenly realised that they can make more money by renting the space out to Oasis fans.
Look, I know.
No, landlords at Edinburgh Festival have been realising they can make more money by raising the rent. They've been doing that for years. All the students go home. The Edinburgh Fringe is on in August, so all the students go home. So there's loads of student accommodation, and it's fucking expensive. When I was first up there doing like showcases where there's like 6 or 7 of you doing a gig together, so you do 10 minutes each, and that's an hour, like. And that's when I was, you know, you'd have like 12 of you living in an house with 3 beds, just so that you could afford it, because landlords, you know, they want to make money. They put the rents through the roof. I shared an house with Francis Foster a couple of times, actually. He didn't like it when the BBC limousine came to pick me up so that I could go on BBC Radio Scotland. That didn't go too well. My performance went so bad that the host of the show, it was going out live on BBC Radio Scotland. It was going out live, and it was such a bad, I was doing really bad. So he interrupted. I was told, actually, I've got to tell you this, it's quite funny. I was told that I was going to be doing an interview, and 5 minutes before they said, actually, we'd like you to do a little set. And I thought, what, to a load of old people? My stuff, you know, what you want me to do a little bit of my sex tourist show? I don't know if this is going to work. So I got there and I just had to improvise it, and it was so bad. It was, and that's on me. You know, there's no such thing as a bad audience. That's rubbish. It was on me. And listen, if ever you're a comedian say, "Oh, it's a tough crowd," that's a lie. You know, these people have worked all day. They've got home. They've jumped in the bath. They've got out of the bath. They've had the pie and chips. They've got on public transport. They've got into central London. They've paid 20 quid to get in. They've sat down. They want to laugh. If you can't make them laugh, that's on you. There's no one sits there going, I'm not going to laugh. What kind of weirdo would do that? Why am I saying that? Oh, yeah. So I'm having this terrible, I only done about 3 minutes before he interrupted. He said, oh, Chris. He said, so what? He thankfully, he kind of tried to save me. He went, what inspired you to get into stand-up comedy? And I thought to myself, I've got to save this because I'm only doing this because I want to get people to my show. And I thought, how am I going to save it? And I went, my dad. And he said, how did your dad inspire you to get into stand-up comedy? And I said, and this was going out live on BBC Radio Scotland, the biggest radio station in Scotland. I said, he sexually abused my greasy anus. And then I just put the mic on the floor and walked out. And the audience went, oh. You could hear it just like, oh. And I'll tell you now, about 100 people over the next sort of 2 weeks, when I'm poncing money off them on the way out into my bucket, they said, we were all at work listening to the Radio Scotland, the Fred Macaulay show, and we heard your shitty gig, and everyone was like, this geezer's awful. And then we heard you say that, and we all said, right, we've got to go and see this fella. And it worked. It absolutely saved the day. However, the very lovely lady that got me that, because I was only 2 years into stand-up, maybe 3 years then. And, she fancied me, to be honest with you. So she got me that slot on the Fred Macaulay show, 10 o'clock in the morning, one of the bigger shows on BBC Radio Scotland. She was the producer. She got fired. Whoops. I still talk to her though. Lovely lady. Anyway, well, my dad didn't actually. My dad didn't touch me at all. I just thought, because I said my dad inspired me, I had to carry it on. JP, I've got your donation. I will show that on the screen shortly. Thanks for that. Machano Capriccionata Tutu. Roll VT. Come on, Bearing.
I'm interrupting a lot here, but did she just say she has a children's show?
Advertising my children's show this morning.
Wow! Imagine that. It's little Timmy's 4th birthday. You're like, hey, Timmy, congratulations, mate. You did well in kindy this year. As a special treat for your 4th birthday, birthday, we can either take you to see like the Wiggles or Kate Smurf Cake. Wow.
I think it's absolutely heartbreaking to be cancelling shows. The first time I've done this in 10 years at the Edinburgh Fringe, literally pulled a show because no one showed up. I think the Fringe Society...
I think you should learn from it and never do it again.
Should have seen this coming and done more about it. And I think a band like Oasis should be more considerate of their fellow performers when they decide where and when to put their show.
Their fellow performers? What the fuck are you talking about, you deranged lunatic? So there's another 6 minutes of bearing ripping into her, but you get the idea. She thinks that Oasis caused her both her shows. I mean, what, 10 o'clock in the morning? Or maybe they were hungover or something. But then she's got a YouTube channel called News at Kate. And she usually pretends to be like a news reporter, but it's satire. And it's so bad. It's been going for about 15 years. It gets about 230 views a video, not a stream. By the way, like the stream if you're liking it, that would be nice. 250 views a video. At the end of the video, she puts all her supporters' names on the screen, like all her Patreons. There's about 100 of them. Now, I don't know if some of them are legacy, but I can't imagine people are still paying. But I think one of them is £1 a month. So maybe they're just her friends and, you know, they feel for her. It's so damn... We'll watch a bit in a minute. It's so damn unfunny. It will blow your mind. But she done one, and instead of doing one of her usual News at Kate, that's a great title. She talked about, there you go, JP. Thank you, mate. Much appreciated. You will be getting your video reply later, and I'm sure you're looking very much forward to that. Cheers, JP. It is appreciated. You know that. So... where are we? So let's have a look at her on News at Kate, talking about people, talking about her, talking about Oasis. Listen out for when she talks about misogynist YouTubers, i.e. Bearing. And the video is called News at Kate 2025, The Oasis Effect. Yeah. Now, it has had nearly 2,000 views, which is why she done it. Because the comments are turned off on all her videos. What a comedian, turning off your comments. I would suggest looking at the amount of views her other videos get. 1,800 of those are hate watchers. Anyway, let's see what she's got to say about this affair. I will interrupt this because there is so much in this. It's ridiculous. I'll try not to interrupt. Check out her virtue signaling opening. It's incredible.
I cannot believe we are back here doing this again, but we need to talk about the disgrace that is our mainstream published media. So as you'll be aware, I make videos all the time, and I'm usually talking at the moment about husband.
About one a week.
Because it is the biggest thing that's going on in the world right now. But I also talk about climate change, about Keir Starmer's horrendous racist immigration policies, about all kinds of like stuff that I think is really, really important.
I talk about loads of stuff that's really important. Keir Starmer's racist immigration policies, if fucking only. Anyway.
I also, if you watch my Instagram, I make other silly little videos, like I made one the other day about how the staff in Canonsgate are always nice to me and they give me biscuits. Like, you know, it's just like little things, whatever pops into my mind. And then
I mean, you're just there, just putting stuff out there, just little funny things like the people on Cowgate give me biscuits. What the fuck is this?
Last week I made one about the fact that we had 2 shows in one day where there was 0 audience, my kids' show, and then
I mean, I'll tell you what, if I had 2 shows in one day that no one came to, I wouldn't tell a soul. I would not tell a soul. not because I was necessarily embarrassed, but that ain't helping your career. That's anti-marketing. That is. Fuck off, Richard. I've had enough of this. If I can take it, I can give it. That's for you, Bradley.
My drag king show, and I was like, well, this is really unusual for me at the Fringe, so something must be going on. And my conclusion is that it's related to the Oasis gig. I mean, that's also based on the fact that I was watching people coming past.
You know that she chose that Oasis image, like with a Union flag. You know that's sort of a bit of a subtle kind of pity marketing is awful. Oh, what a thing.
In Oasis shirts, not interested in going to Fringe shows, not mine, not anybody else's.
Yeah, but exactly. You've just explained it. They're not interested in going to your, and they're there to see Oasis, so they may as well. They've got nothing to do with the Fringe, right? Every year they do this thing. It's called the Royal. It's on the end of the Royal Mile, and it's like the Edinburgh Tattoo, is it? And it's all the bagpipes and all the soldiers doing all their little marching and all that. They ain't going to see comedy. They're there for that. So these people aren't. No one said, let's go to the Edinburgh Fringe. And then they said, yeah, we could see Oasis and maybe check out. It's just they're not there for the comedy. That they went for one day, watched Oasis, got shit faced, and went home.
This is now a story in the Daily Mail, the Express, the Record up here.
Yeah, because you're a lol cow. You know what do you expect these tabloid newspapers to talk about? You're hilarious. Why haven't you learned? This happens to you all the time. You're ridiculous. That's why the way tabloid online media works is it wants clicks to sell advertising. And when some comedian says no one come to my show because of Oasis,
Scottish Sun, whole string of.
Yeah, I'm not knocking it 42 at all. I did. Even when I said this little thing, I felt a bit bad. My point is, there's people who go there for that, who ain't there for the Fringe. Do you know what I mean? That was my point. Willow wants to know if she's married to Francis. No, she turns into him if you feed her after midnight. But to slag off the fact that it's in the media is ridiculous. You know, this isn't new to her.
Media outlets, there are online misogynist bloggers, if you like, who are making
misogynist bloggers
videos and writing articles about it. And they've completely twisted the story from it's difficult for performers at the Fringe, audiences are down overall because of Oasis being in town and whether it was a good idea.
There's no link there. Nice one, Johnny boy. Much appreciated, son. Much Arno Capriccionata Tutu. Good to see you. It's just, I'm trying to. Imagine you've got a cafe that does cream teas and scones. Right, and Arsenal are playing Spurs. Arsenal will have Eze playing, though. Any Spurs fans in the chat have just said you're an arsehole, Dangerfield. But I won't talk about football too much, but that was amazing. So you've got a cafe that sells cream teas. And you've got, like, the Emirates Stadium is just down the road. Well, your crowd, the people who come to your shop, are not the people that are going to go and see that game of football. It's not related. I don't know why she can't understand that.
Idea to schedule them at the same time as the world's largest open access arts festival was going on.
I knew you were in here as well, Nate. That's why I said it. I've got to say though, Nate, what what is Levy doing, man? That should have been. I mean, I don't think Spurs done anything. I don't know what happened, but I'm very happy. I've got to give it that.
But it's been spun to like horrendous feminist comedian can't get an audience for her show because she...
No, it hasn't been spun as horrendous feminist comedian can't get an audience. It's been reported as horrendous feminist comedian can't get an audience because that's what happened.
She's woke and she's not funny and nobody's interested and she's not as good as Oasis and she's bitter about it and she's furious. Like, I'm not furious even in the...
No, sure. That's really coming across.
Video, I'm just like, oh, annoying.
Hang on. Everything she just said, and she went, yeah, but I'm not furious.
Yeah.
Every other accusation, she just leveled at herself and then went, but I'm not furious.
Yeah.
She's the only one disputed.
And she made the video. She made the video at the time, and she's made this one. And then she's trying to palm it off as, I mean, you know, it's water off a duck's back to me. Come on.
Like, as if it would be newsworthy if I had too much of an emotional response to the situation that was in front of me, which is definitely annoying and frustrating. And indeed, of course, it has a knock-on effect on my life and my ability to do fringes and to put my work out there. And I've put a lot of time and love into that show. And it's really heartbreaking not to show it to people. So even if I was furious...
I'm not furious, but I am heartbroken.
That's pretty...
Oh, Charlie's okay. We won't talk about it because people don't like it. Bandy Borehole just summed it up. I'll tell you what, this just goes on. There's another 3 minutes of her telling you that she doesn't care, but she really cares. But let's have a look at actually one of her news at Kate. She's got 3.1 thousand subscribers, but let's actually have a look at one of her comedy videos just to get an idea of how hilarious she is. Right, I'm not picking this. This is the one she made 2 weeks ago. She makes one a week, right? So let's see. This is her being a comedian, right? I'm not joking. The show is News at Kate, and she pretends to be. It's like a news show. So you know, must we? Let's just, you know, try and watch without prejudice. Forget everything you know about her, and right, you're just sitting down. You found this comedy channel on YouTube. You thought, I'll give it a go. I haven't watched this, by the way. I just have faith because I've seen her perform countless times, and it wasn't great.
So this week we've got the start of Keir Starmer's frightening.
Right, not only have I got to turn my volume up full blast to even hear her, I'm sorry if you can't hear her very much.
One in, one out migrant policy, and the coverage of it and the details of the policy betray the horrendous racism that perpetuates.
No, this isn't even comedy. This is meant to be a comedy show. Look, comments are turned off on that's on every video, by the way. I actually want to see some of her comedy. Where's one of her where she's meant to be being funny? Oh, this looks good. Oh, hang on. Here we go. This looks promising. This is a bit of character comedy by the look of things.
As we march.
Hang on. So, without prejudice, and I mean that, people, try and it might be quite good. There is a chance it might be quite good. I'm open to that. Packer, I see you've muted yourself. Can you keep that muted? Because I've got my volume full blast. If you say something, it will take my ears out and probably damage my speakers. So I'll let you know. You bastard. You absolute bastard. But you said it very quietly, though. Right, here we go.
As we march inexorably towards World War III.
The character is Laura Wallop, MP. She's a conservative. The joke is she's a conservative MP. Okay. So let's you know, it's a 2-minute skit. Let's give it a go.
Inexorably towards World War III. Some of my constituents have asked why global leaders seem intent on doing the bidding of Benjamin Netanyahu, and wondered openly whether Mossad might have compromising information about them on file. And to you I say, it's time for a new world leader, someone who's been waiting in the wings, military experience, plenty of time on his hands, and most important of all, utterly uncompromisable. Of course, I'm talking about Prince Andrew. We already know he's in the Epstein files. He has nothing to lose. Let's get him back.
Is that it? That was it. Right, you look at all our supporters. That's it, by the way. That was
Increasingly, the mainstream media is terrible at informing the public of what is really going on.
When it says produced by, that means her patrons. Look at them all. Look at them all. Look.
I'm only able to make these videos because people are generous enough to sponsor me making them. And if
Fuck off. You've just done 1 minute of material in 1 week.
you're able to be a part of that, I would hugely appreciate it. It can cost as little as $1 a month, and you'll get loads of fun bonus content.
You'll get $1 worth of comedy a year.
And lots of extras from me and my undying gratitude. I also massively appreciate it if you're able to like, share these videos and let people out there know.
Oh yeah, I'm sharing that everywhere. I mean, that was ridiculous. Absolutely. That's comedy. That she's been doing stand-up for 20 odd years. And that's what she's giving out. That was 2 weeks ago, that video. I think it was. I don't know. Actually, that's not fair. Let me see how old that was. A month ago. Because Prince Andrew's in the news a month ago. You know, it's topical stuff. That weren't 4 years ago or anything.
it was actually a really bad impersonation of the Iron Lady, wasn't it?
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
So what she was doing was 30 years out of date.
Hello, Ayo. How are you? Ams, she's shit. Well, Willow, this is the thing. The thing is, I heard that she, like I said, she sued someone. Allegedly. I mean, she can't. Let's have a look. Let's see how many live gigs she's doing, because that's how you can usually tell how much of a comic someone really is. Look what just come up when I put her. You're gonna love this. Hang on. There you go. Busy stuff. I don't know. There's a bit of me that admires her, that she's kept going this long and has just not achieved anything anywhere near. You know, she's still at that level you were at in your second or third year of stand-up, when you're learning the chops, when you're getting a bit of stagecraft. Right. We're done with that one. What have we got for you now? Right, here we go. This is interesting because this is interesting because I've got a second video for it. This is from the 80s. I come across this doing some research for my new novel. Yeah, I'm a writer. Check out my Substack. Link in the description. Totally free. So most of you will remember this. again, I always say it, critical distance. Think North Korea, right? This was put out on the BBC between programs in the 80s. This is it's unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable that this actually happened and went on for a few years as well. You'll all know it as soon as it starts playing. And just listen to the tone of it. They force money out of you for their bullshit propaganda and ideology, and then they've got the cheek to feed this to you.
There are rather a lot of TV detector vans in this area tonight. New, more powerful vans. If you don't have a license, they'll know just where to look for you. And when you're caught, you can now be fined up to £400. The new TV detector vans, they're in this area now.
For fuck's sake, from a taxpayer-funded TV channel. I just think that's awful. You know, it's only 40 years ago. That's how they treated us. It's no wonder we're at where we are now. 12,000 people a year getting locked up for things they've said. Although you can say, apparently you can say you can slit people's throats. That don't matter. If you know, that's all right. But, you know, sing a funny song about certain people, you're in all sorts of trouble. That is a very good point, as expected, as always, from 42. He says, the public stuff, which is where she goes on Sky News and that, and rage quits and all that sort of stuff, allows her to get speaking gigs for non-governmental organisations paid for by the government, the old NGOs paid for by the governments. What's the Quango, a quasi-autonomous non-government organisation? Look at 42's wicked way with words. Speaking gigs for NGOs paid for by the government. Yeah, you're right. I think you're right. I think actually even this little fake oasis stopped my show. You know, it just keeps her in the public eye so she can get those gigs. I think that's what you're saying, isn't it? I think you're absolutely right. That's a great call, 42. Really good. Now, here's the thing about the detector vans. It came out in the 90s that they didn't even have any. You know, people were saying they haven't got the technology for that. They can't drive around seeing who's got a telly and all that. Well, I looked into it, and actually they did. There were, they did have some kind of technology. And I found this video, and right, so this is what so actually there's not a lot of evidence, but there is some evidence that there were some vans where they could just tell that there was a television on in a road, you know, something like that. But someone's put this little clip video together of real and fake detector vans, but most of them are fake. But it's quite funny, though. It's quite a funny little video. It's 8 minutes. We won't watch all of it, but you'll recognise some of them from like the Fast Show and that, where they done little skits about them. But most of them are fake, obviously. That's the Fast Show, isn't it? I think. Look, it says genuine, but obviously not. Look at that. That's a real fake. That's that. There's a watch shop in Patong, and it's called. There's a big sign above it. You know, snide Rolexes and all that, and it says genuine fakes, which I've always loved that. But look at this. There's actually a van with some kind of weird fake radar on the top, with television detector, like stamped on the side. So, you know, I don't know if this is a genuine fake, but I wonder, you wouldn't put it past the BBC, you know, just making up a few vans to drive around. You know, you only need to have a few people see them for, you know, like the old Chinese whispers. Because what I'm trying to work out here, because there's not a lot in the description, is when they say fake, I mean, it says on the side of that car, television detector, and it's got the royal crown there. And so when it says fake, I take it they mean that this is a genuine fake. So they did actually do it. They got some geezer in a suit to park up in a street with a cage on the top of his car, so that people looking out their windows thought, oh, these things do exist. Now, the reason I like this one, that is a Morris 1000 van. And from age 0 to about 14, that's what my family car was. Because my dad was a painter and decorator by that time. Well, he was a foundry man when we were really young. But
sorry, Chris, what colour?
It was tank green.
Nice one, thank you.
It was beautiful, actually. I loved it. Even when they brought in the new seatbelt regulations, because it was so old, we didn't need to wear seatbelts in it. And it had a crank handle. If you couldn't get the engine started in the winter, see the grill on the front there, you'd put it in and just crank the engine over by hand. It was a lovely motor. I was so gutted when we sold it. You know, it stood out. We were eccentric. When one of them turns up at the school to pick you up, it's a bit of a laugh. You know, we were skint, so we had one of them, and it smelt of turpentine because it had all my dad's paints and that in the back. That's where I think I get my headaches from. But when we got rid of that, and I've seen it since on YouTube because I can remember the number plate MYL810D. I've seen it in like, you know, those car shows, all done up and looking lovely. But then we got a normal poor family's car, which was like this third-hand Citroen, and then we just looked poor rather than poor but with a little bit of style. But that's a genuine van. Look, television license investigator on the van, the old Elizabeth Regina thing. Look at that thing. So look, they actually did do it. But there are a couple that are real. It comes up real. Look, they drove these. Hang on a minute. Hang on. That was Fred West on the roof, wasn't it? Look at old Fred West on the roof of that. He's looking for his next victim.
Hang on. No, look closer. It's Rolf Harris.
It's the bastard child of Rolf and Fred. Look at all these things. I just want to get to look at these. Look, they've actually bothered to get all this mobile detection unit, TV licensing.co. I can remember adverts as well where it was like, if you know someone who's watching telly who hasn't got a license, ring this number. Fucking hell, man. Another Morris 1000. That ain't genuine. That's a toy car. I just want to wait till they get to one genuine one. Look at that, look, with the old little Star Trek control panel in it.
There's no genuine one, Chris.
No, there are. There are. I'm sure there are. Look at that. Scaring the populace. Let's see if we can find a... Here, hang on. Oh no, they're all fake. I think you're right. I'm sure I see a real one. Hang on, it is maybe genuine, it says on that one. So the joke is they never had them. Of course they didn't. Look at that. Look at all those Morris 1000. Look lovely. They actually just pulled the wool over everyone's eyes.
Yeah, but it was our money they pissed away. Hang on, it was our money they pissed away on making up fake vans to scare us with. How do you think they bought them vans to fucking give us the shits?
And they had to pay the drivers. And they're lying. Surely there must be some kind of class action lawsuits against this. You can't just drive around pretending that you can detect your telly. Even if you can detect a telly, can you detect whether there's a license? What if you've got a telly in one room, but the house next to you in your little 13-foot terrace, you don't know what house that's in? No way. You can't even do that with ChatGPT.
Right, I wouldn't like to cast aspersions on the BBC live on air, but there's a certain type of person that would take their money from them and then scare them with it.
Yeah, exactly. It's awful, really, isn't it? Absolutely awful.
Just saying, just putting that out there. In Minecraft, probably, allegedly. I throw all the words in there. Right. Your stocks may go down in value as well as up.
Oh, actually, I've got to have a quick look at that. I bet a load of the house money on a dip. Oh, no, God, someone else has made a donation on the... Sorry, people, but when people donate, I have to acknowledge it because it means you get more streams. Oh, it's Spanish Chicken, bless you. Spanish Chicken dropped 5 futures in. That's a fair wedge. Thank you, Spanish Chicken. That's Machano Krishnata Hatu. You'll get your video. If I could do your 5, I would. I can do your 5. I'll have to stand by that now. Damn, I'm so tired after a stream. If any one of you does donate and you get your video, you see how they're so funny because I'm like this. I'm like, thanks for the donation. I really appreciate it. Appreciati. Ta-da. I try and sell it as like, hey, you get a bespoke video. But I'm like half dead. But nice one, Spanish Chicken. He says, your wall won't be complete without a pizzle brick. If he already has one, donate it to some other fab scrub. He hasn't. Spanish, you've just bought pizzle a brick. I don't think he's here. I think he had to go out and score.
That's a good call. That's a good call, that is.
Yeah, it is. Show Spanish Chicken love people there. He's
actually landed himself. He's landed himself a job with the council in Manchester.
Has he?
Yeah, he put in the chat earlier. So
I'll tell you what.
The pension.
I'll tell you what. Pizzle is going to be so happy about that. You won't. Well, you may realise that's why you've done it, but Pizzle will be absolutely over the moon with that Spanish. That'll make his day, if not his week. I'll just have to clear up with him whether he wants Pizzle or our pal. It'll probably be Pizzle, but Spanish, you're a gentleman and a scholar, and that's really really considerate of you. Great stuff. Oh, and it would appear I've missed another one. Oh, you people might be getting a Emma's got a new bird and a new job. Bring her round, Glass. You're muted, Packer, or I'm turned down.
No, I'm muted. Yeah, she meant Pizzle, and he's got a brick as well. So, you know, it's a 3.
Yeah, he'll be over the moon. He's got a new bird and a jar. Fair play to him. Yeah, no, that's great work. Yeah, he'll be over the moon, Spanish. Cheers with that. Cheers for that, should I say. Right, where am I going now? I think I've missed another donation here, and it's that one. And it is from 42, dropped a Lady Godiva in. We had the TV Detector Vans adverts right after the one saying terrorists are bad and before the news about a local riot and bomb. 1980s Northern Irish TV. I bet you were lovely, wasn't it? I bet it was lovely around your house after school. Fucking hell. Those were the days. Thank you, 42. That's amazing. Because I'm doing loads of research for this novel, because I'm going to try and sell it. People, I told you about those Facebook groups that I've been shilling it on. That is flying. I'm writing. People in the comments are going, he was a very clever and very funny boy at school. I've got a Facebook account. But I have to have one for business, but it's in someone else's. So I've had to put on there, I've got a mate who's a writer, blah, blah, blah. And then someone said, who is it? And I went, Chris Dangerfield. And the list is now about 180 people have commented, and they're all like, let us know when it's out. And for me, that's gold dust. And then there's another Facebook group that my mother was the final boss, like the chief admin, 17,000 members. And they all knew my mother. And anyone on the old school I went to who's written something, I've written them into the book. And then I've said onto them, I've said, well, I've read the first draft. You're in it. Yeah, you're in it too. Oh, yeah, you're in it. And I've just written them in it like nothing. Like I was walking down the corridor and, so-and-so was there. That's it. But that will make someone buy a book without a doubt. Oh, lovely stuff. Right, where are we? Right, this one, I think a lot of you might have seen this. The song ain't great, but she is. And what I want to say about this bird, she's set up a YouTube channel. It's not doing great, but I'm going to give you the link. It's got about 1,000 subscribers, but she's quite normal. I see a video of her the other day wearing a St. George's Cross like mini dress in the street, singing a song about closing the borders. Now, what interests me about this one is she's just like a normal person. She doesn't. What am I trying to say? I should have thought about this really. I'll show you the video and you might get the same feel that I got. It's a short, so it's a bit small, but just listen to what she says, and I don't get the feeling she's studied it or she's been part of a movement. She's just this is a song based on the eye test, and this is where England is going. Her name is Mrs. Kent. Let me know in the chat if you've seen a Mrs. Kent video, because I'd be interested, because a lot of people sent me this, not this exact song, but a lot of people sent me it. Let me know if you can't hear it. You should be able to. Play.
Kia Starmer, the granny harmer, once is mixed up in Israel drama. It's the same prick that hates on the farmers and made grannies freeze in their pajamas. He's a traitor, an undercover dictator, a war instigator. He wants to fuck around and mess with human nature. Going round kids is satanic behaviour. And we ain't gonna fight no more. And we ain't gonna play no more. Sitting in silence, cause we know your game is to push us to violence. And we ain't gonna fight no more. And we ain't gonna play no more. No more. We say no to the Israel war. Don't you know his dad's a toolmaker? But Lord say he made a perfect violator. A top knob and an Englishman hater. Ukrainian boy penetrator. Man knows firsthand how Jimmy fixed it. Fully involved, but the BBC missed it. Hidden evidence because they didn't want to risk it. Kept Starmer quiet with a rich tea biscuit. Keir Starmer, the granny harmer, once it's mixed up in Israel drama. It's the same prick that hates on the farmers and make grannies freeze in their pajamas. He's a traitor, an undercover dictator, a war instigator. He wants to fuck around and mess with human nature. Going round kids is satanic behaviour, and we ain't gonna fight no.
I'm just going to interrupt it because that was Spanish Chicken. That's a fair point. Talk English, not street shy. That was my one reservation about a lot of her videos. I mean, she's rapping essentially, but the reason I'm cutting her some slack is she didn't grow up in the same country that you and I did. You know, she grew up probably in a minority. Or possibly a minority, and it's kind of hard to sort of hold on to your accent when no one else is speaking it. And if you do that, I mean, getting through school's hard enough as it is, but if you're the posh person, which you would be called if you were, you know, talking like a, you know, I'd probably be called posh at school. That's a bit of a reach. But yeah, I've got to. I just want to acknowledge that Spanish Chicken. I thought a bit of that, but, you know, what is she, 20, 22? I don't know. So she's grown up in a world where, I mean, you know, that's how young people talk in London.
I was just going to say there's a lot of people that will listen to her for a lot longer than they'll listen to us, just because of the way she's talking.
That's a fair point.
To the Israel war. Don't you know his dad's a toolmaker? But I'd say he made a perfect violator. A top knob and an Englishman hater. A Ukrainian boy penetrator. Man knows firsthand how Jimmy fixed.
That's a great line. She even laughs when she said it. Nice one, Little Red. I ain't seen you in these parts for a while. Listen, I'll give you her channel. There's one on a beach and a couple of shorts, but she's look, she's only got 2,000 subscribers, but I've seen her everywhere. I don't understand. Like loads of people in the chat, admittedly, we're all kind of politically aligned with her, but Lord knows, maybe it's the likes of me and other people that are playing it that's getting it out there. I don't know, but I've just put the link in the chat. Thank you, Little Red. I hope you're well. Yeah, that Nicholas. Hello, Nicholas. Yeah, that was the line that done it for me. I tell you, people, Mumford had a great argument with a kid on a train once because the kid was like, I ain't going up there, mate. I already done told you time. I ain't got time for none of that shit, bruv. You know, what do you think I am? White as a fucking ghost. And Mumford said to him, do you always speak like that? There was like 5 of them. Mumford owned a rehearsal studio at the time. And 5 of these kids that were in like this rock band said, do you want to come to a gig with us? And he was like, yeah, all right. You know, like 3 times their age. And like there's this one kid talking like that. And he said, do you always talk like that? And this kid was like, what do you mean talk like what? This is my voice, isn't it? He went, what? You come downstairs in the morning, your mum makes you Weetabix, and you're like, how much? I already done told you I don't want sugar on my Bix, innit, mum? And the kid was like, and the other kids were laughing because they're just posh boys. His mates are just sort of like grammar school educated, sort of like, oh, I can't wait to see the band tonight. I've heard the bass player's got a Rickenbacker 5972 and all this. And everyone in the carriage was cracking up because Mumford weren't having it. And then these 3 black kids walk in the carriage. They're only about 12 or 13, little school kids. And then Mumford's gone, what was it you was what did you just say? I missed it. And he was like, No, yeah. He goes, no, what were you saying about it's your accent? And he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it because, you know, these three black kids were walking through, you know, looking for a seat. But they were stopped there because there were no seats. And he wouldn't talk in front of them. And Paul said that everyone was just cracking up like, you've been had, man. And I've seen so much of that. I've seen so much of it around London. It's just ridiculous. How much effort must it take to have a fake accent? But then you've got the kids, you know, I know people who grew up on estates where they were the only white family in the whole block. And the kids speak patois. They do speak patois. That is how they speak. Have you seen White Yardie? I think I've shown him on here before. Let me see if I can find him. It's a really weird one. He's actually
all my kids speak Lincolnshire. It's very embarrassing. They say over yonder and yon side.
No, I love all that. I love it. Right, so this geezer, right? So, hang on. So this geezer grew up in Jamaica. And I'm cutting him all the slack in the world for that. Because if you grow up in Jamaica, you are going to develop a Jamaican accent. You just are. Now, I discovered him he's a football pundit. But when I first saw him, I'm sitting there. There's these two black fellas speaking the Queen's English, right? Literally just speaking very well spoken. It's one of the biggest Arsenal football YouTube channels, like millions of subscribers. And the white bloke has got the black accent. And I was just like, what the fuck? You've got this black bloke sitting next to him going, I think Arsenal have got the transitional play to get through, to get those crosses in. And then they've got the striking power to score the goal. And then this geezer goes, I don't know about that, man. I'm like, what? So I'm not getting at him. If I grew up in France, I'd likely have a slightly French accent. I think that's fair to say. But it is a bit weird to watch. So I didn't prepare this clip, by the way, and I haven't seen it, but I know how he talks. So just check out a bit of this. And this is his story because he does get a lot of shit for it. And I actually think that's unfair. You grew up in Jamaica, you know, but check it out. It's kind of weirdly jarring.
Who is White Yardie?
White Yardie. The name says it all. You know, when you buy a bottle of water, it says water. That's what it is. But no, White Yardie, for those who don't know, I'm White Yardie, the stand-up comedian. Also, White Yardie, the name was given to me. It wasn't a name I gave myself. You know, it's a name that was given to me as well. But yeah, so stand-up comedian, funny guy. You know, make you laugh.
And for someone who doesn't know what Yardie means, what's a Yardie?
Yardie is basically a nickname for somebody who is from Jamaica. Yard is another name for home, you know what I mean, as well. Obviously, yard, when you think of yard, you think the back of the yard, backyard. But yard is a nickname for Jamaica. And in some people give you a nickname, they call you a yard.
Isn't that one of the most peculiar things you've ever seen? It's really weird, isn't it? He's actually an all right fella. I'm going to defend him. I think that's he's not a wigger. He grew up in Jamaica. What are you going to do? But it's a peculiar. When the first time I see it, I was thinking, you're talking about that movie about where they're in the army, innit? When it goes real, yeah. What's it called? Oh, I can't remember. That's a great call, though. That is a great call. I think. Oh no, that was Little Reds. I didn't miss that one. I'm just going to give Entropy a little once over, and the other one. Don't want anyone to miss their moments in the sun. It's 2 o'clock in the morning here, people. I'll just let you know that. It's called guilt grifting, that is. Tropic Thunder, Emma Glass said it. It's always a bit tropical and thunderous when we get together, isn't it, Glass? Yeah. Okay. Nicholas says it's even more sickening. British identity theft, basically. I don't know what you're talking about with that one, Nicholas. You talking about White Yardie? I don't know. Never there. Yeah, it's a funny movie, actually. It's not a great movie. What did I watch the other night that I absolutely loved? I watched a film the other night. It's an old film. Oh, Bullet again. I rarely watch films again and again, but listen, people, if you've never watched Apocalypse Now, your life is not complete. What a movie. Just watch the theatrical cut, though. Don't go all these extra ones they've done afterwards. Right, I'm going to show you that clip. I said I'll show you it. I've just got to remember what it was. I mean, we've been going for 2 hours and 15 minutes, and I am lagging a little bit, but I said I'd show you it. What was it? The house in Cambodia. Here. So have a look at this. So this is at $24,000. Yeah, let's see what ChatGPT. $24,000 in GBP. So at current conversion rates, just shy of 18 thou, right? And I've got a couple of years to make that. So that's about 3,000 streams. But the company's based in Phnom Penh. I've watched a load of their videos, and we've already built the footings. That's all done. So we think we'll get a few grand off. Have a look at this. I mean, think about it. Think about this house is going to come in at about 17 grand. Wait till you have a look at it. And it's all as you see. And I know that because me and the missus have... Quadrex, I don't know if you're being sarcastic or not, but I ain't got money for houses in places like England. To me, I can actually own an house. So, you know, and well, let's have a look at it. Let me know what you think. And they're decent properties as well, because the on the plot makes it sound like it's all in a line like England. On the bit of jungle next to our land, this company built one of these houses. So we've actually seen one, and it's not a bodge job. It's a well-built house. So have a look at this. And remember, 17 thou. He's going to be speaking Khmer. You wait till you hear Khmer. It doesn't sound like any other language. It's so bizarre. I'll get rid of me and Packer so you can get the full view. Here we go.
បាទអនុញ្ញាតជម្រាបសួរបងប្អូនទាំងអស់គ្នាថ្ងៃនេះខ្ញុំបានមកប្រកល់ផ្ទះមួយនៅខាងស្រុកកណ្ដាលស្ទឹងខេត្តកណ្ដាលនៅតាមបណ្ដោយផ្លូវជាតិលេខ 2 តែម្ដងបងប្អូនហើយសម្រាប់ផ្ទះនេះដែរទំហំរបស់វាគឺ 7 គុណនឹង 15 ម៉ែត្រសម្រាប់បន្ទប់គេងគឺមាន 3 បន្ទប់ទឹកមាន 2 ចង្ក្រានបាយ 1 ទទួលភ្ញៀវ 1 រៀនហាត់
Has got one extra room than this. Packer, it's a fucking temple. You've got to remember, it is built in the Khmer style. There is that angle to it.
ចឹងពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនដែលនៅម្ដុំនេះពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនចង់មើលផ្ទះគំរូម៉ូដនេះពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនអាចអញ្ជើញមកទស្សនាម៉ូដគំរូផ្ទាល់តែម្ដងក៏បានសម្រាប់សម្ភារៈផ្ដល់ជូនពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនមើលពីខាងក្រៅនេះពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនឃើញទិដ្ឋភាពផ្ទះយើងគឺយើងផ្ដល់ជូនបែបហ្នឹងឯងពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនមានការរៀបចំដូចជាពីដានម៉ូដពូលទ្វារឈើសក្រមពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនបាទហើយសម្រាប់ទ្វារឈើសក្រមនេះពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនគឺទ្វារល្អបាទទ្វារស្លឹក
Little things that you probably won't have thought about because you haven't lived out here. You don't have carpets in. No Cambodian has carpets in their house. It's always glass. That's a base in Cambodia. If ever I saw one, fair play. It's always tiled floors. Carpets are just not. They just don't make sense. Also, rarely do you have 2 stories. You do in the cities just because they have to get as much in as possible. But yeah, tiled floors. yeah, that's just there's a few other things that I always forget, but I might remember in a minute.
លាតពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនបាទហើយយើងមកដល់កន្លែងបរិវេណទទួលភ្ញៀវពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនគឺធំទូលាយមែនតើពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនក្បាលផ្ទះ7ជាងបាន3ម៉ែត្រកន្លះខាងទទួលភ្ញៀវនេះហើយផ្ដល់ជូនការ៉ូជញ្ជាំងផងដែរពុកម៉ែបងប្អូននៅទទួលភ្ញៀវនេះបាទហើយសម្រាប់បន្ទប់គេងទី1ពុកម៉ែបងប្អូននេះគឺយើងមានបន្ទប់ទឹកនៅក្នុងនឹងផងដែរពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនបាទសម្ភារៈផ្ដល់ជូនគឺដូចនៅក្នុងរូបភាពវីដេអូនេះពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនហើយយើង
The reason they keep showing you the high ceilings is obviously because heat rises and you don't want low ceilings in a tropical climate.
ដកចេញម៉ាស៊ីនទឹកក្តៅទឹកត្រជាក់ចេញពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនបាទក្រៅពីហ្នឹងគឺយើងផ្ដល់ជូនដូចនៅក្នុងរូបភាពបាទហើយសម្រាប់បន្ទប់គេងនេះគឺយើងផ្ដល់ជូនគឺដូចនៅក្នុងរូបភាពនេះដូចគ្នាដែរអ្វីដែលយើងដកចេញនៅក្នុងផ្ទះនេះនិយាយរួមទៅគឺមានកង្ហារម៉ាស៊ីនត្រជាក់ម៉ាស៊ីនទឹកក្តៅទឹកត្រជាក់ពូកសាឡុងអីចឹងទៅដូចជាផ្ទះមុនដែរទេពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនបាទសម្រាប់បន្ទប់
That's the room any scrubs come to visit get to stay in, the little broom cupboard.
គេងទី2គឺដូចគ្នាដែរពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនគឺយើងរៀបចំបែបនេះទំហំធំទូលាយល្មមប៉ុន្តែពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនបាទបន្ទប់គេងទី3គឺដូចគ្នាដែរបន្ទប់គេងនីមួយៗទំហំរបស់វា3x3ម៉ែត្រកន្លះពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនបាទចក្រានបាយពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនគឺធំទូលាយល្មមសមរម្យបាទ
Because our house is longer, you've got to imagine another room before this sort of kitchen area. And again, there's no ovens in Cambodia. Why is there no ovens in Cambodia? It's too fucking hot. You can't bake anything out here. You imagine you get a recipe and it says, then put it in the oven at 250 degrees for 2 hours. Fuck that. That's like putting the central heating on. No one bakes any food.
ដូចនៅក្នុងរូបភាពនេះឯងពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនបាទធ្នើចក្រានបាយគឺយើងដកចេញអាធ្នើឈើទូតាំងពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនម្ចាស់ផ្ទះគាត់ថែមផ្សេងបាទហើយសម្រាប់បន្ទប់ទឹករួមក៏ដូចគ្នាដែរនេះពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនគឺយើងមានផ្ដល់ជូនជាមង្គលខ្សែអនាម័យផ្កាឈូកអញ្ចឹងពុកម៉ែបងប្អូនដែល
I mean that ain't bad for 17 grand, is it? I think that's all right. I think I'll have a bit of that. Well, now that's an interesting question, Mr. Palmer. Because when I said no one bakes anything out here, because of the French, when the French colonized the place, baguettes are very popular in Cambodia. It's really weird. And then you get like these weird Cambodian innards served in baguettes, but they're done in like very well air-conditioned bakeries out of the way, not in a house. Like even when my missus cooks on the wok, she has to put a fan in the kitchen, and I can't go in there. I just and she comes out there dripping with water. That's just a wok, and that's why wok cooking is done like it is. When you cook with a wok, you get that wok like white hot before you put any food in it, because then you can just leave it on the flame, get out of there while it's getting hot, get in there, chuck your meat in, chuck your veg in, chuck your spices in, give it a couple of woks. And then it's done, and that's it. And then the heat's off, and that's a cultural thing due to the heat. You obviously don't want all that heat. Yeah, but when I see that coming at 22 foul, I was like, well, this could actually happen, because between you and me, I've been promising the missus, yeah, we're no problem. No problem. And then when she shuts her eyes to go to bed, I sit there for hours looking at the ceiling thinking, so there you go. Right, people, it is 2:00 in the morning. We've been going for 2.5 hours. Let me just sort something. I'll tell you what, we haven't had any household for a while, have we?
I've got a quick question, Chris.
Okay, yeah, fire away, son.
Earlier on, during your ramblings, you just kind of threw out there casually, oh, I'm going to learn to ride a horse. And then you kind of dropped that and carried on what you're talking about.
Right.
You're going to learn to ride a horse?
Right, I first rode a horse when I'd done the French exchange as a kid, and the horse was called Big Chief, and I was a very late developer. You'll enjoy reading about that in my new novel. I've got a title, by the way, it could change, but it's likely, it's a journal, yeah? It's written as a journal. It's called 14 in 86, an idiot's journal. Now, there's a reason it's called that. If I was a successful, established author, I'd call it something cool and abstract. But when you're on Amazon, you've pretty much got to tell them what it is. You know, you look at books on Amazon, it's things like, you know, the titles like How I Got Married 3 Times When I Went to Venezuela. Because you've got a couple of seconds or a second to get their attention. So 14 in 86, that's age and time, an idiot's journal. It's a journal. It's probably a little bit too abstract, 14 in 86, but I just can't go 14 years old in 1986. I just can't go that far. If I can get them to turn it. But anyway, I've got all this other marketing going. So anyway. But when I done the French exchange, they took us to learn horse riding, and they put me on this horse called Big Chief, and she just slapped its ass. They didn't teach us anything, and I ended up like just with my hands around this horse's neck while it was just cantering around the paddock, terrified. The next time I went horse riding, I've got a photo. You're actually going to see a photo. If it takes too long to find it, I look like a real dick on a horse, I can assure you that much. But again, this was in Cambodia. It was a horse sanctuary, and what they do is they let you do horse riding to help fund the sanctuary. And I thought, well, that's a nice thing to do. But again, it wasn't like this is how you ride a horse. This is what you do. They just put us on the horse, and then we were just off going. And it started cantering, then it started fucking galloping, and I ended up with my hands around its neck again. But the woman was screaming. She was going, "Sit up, get the reins." And when I actually got up, see, I didn't know. When you watch people riding horses on films and they look like warriors, it looks really comfortable, but you have to bounce. You actually have to bounce up and down. You don't just sit on the horse and ride it. And I didn't know any of that until I started realizing it was nearly throwing me off the horse. But when I was actually galloping, I was terrified, but it felt fucking great. And I was watching a movie the other night, and a geezer, what was it? He pulled him on, of course, Good, the Bad and the Ugly I watched the other night, and there was a bit when he pulls the ugly onto the back of the horse. Clint Eastwood picks him, because they've got that little blag set up, haven't they, where Clint Eastwood's a bounty hunter. He takes him in, they hang him, he shoots a string, and then he gets the bounty and he takes the geezer, and that's what it is in The Good, the Bad and the Ugly, isn't it? He keeps getting the bounty for the same criminal. But when I watched it, I thought, you know, if you can drag someone off the floor onto the back of the horse, surely I can learn to ride a horse. And I just thought, oh, yeah, look. That's our old Morris Fartham. See that, Packer?
That's a beautiful British racing green, that.
Yeah.
It's a proper Bentley colour.
Absolutely gorgeous it was. So sad when we got a fucking... The Citroen looked like a... what is it? Banana and custard sweet. It was like red and yellow. Gutted.
Like Noddy.
Yeah, it was awful, and it had that crappy suspension that didn't work properly, so it always looked like it was leaning to the right, and I don't think I'm going to be able to find you me sitting on an horse, which is a shame. Yeah, this is taking up far too much of my writing time and yours. I always have to show this photo when I see it. So Mumford gets a delivery from the dark web, and he shows me all what he's got, all his dihydrocodeine, all his, what did he like? Tapentadol, loads of various opiates. Look at him there, over the moon with his dark web, yeah? 10 minutes later, his missus sends me this photo because the ambulance arrived and had to wire him up on a drip. And I am afraid the
nappy.
Sorry, Packer, I've got you turned down so low because I don't want to keep.
This is 10 minutes later. This is me in a catheter and a nappy.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, this was from the Dangerfield Chinese prescription day out. Now, I know for a fact that one of those people in that photo still watches this stream. I'm not going to dox them. So there's that fella there. There's that fella there. There's someone in the background there. And there's someone on the outside there. For people, so one of those people was in the chat on the regular. And as soon as I see him, I thought, I like this fella. Me and him talk off stream quite a lot. For people who don't know, that was a cracking day out, actually. Apart from the headache, Wolfie, give me a... But we went out for a Chinese meal, and then anyone who was up for it, basically anyone who didn't have their bird with them or wasn't homosexual, went and got an happy ending in a massage shop. Yeah, it was good fun. When I next come back to England, we'll do another get together, and I'll try and stay a bit longer. I'm not good around crowds of people, especially not when I'm the common denominator. Do you know what I mean? But there was so many funny things that happened. Like one bloke was going to me, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. I said, what, morally? He was like, no, I just don't know. I'm not very good with women. I said, you don't have to be though. They do everything. They do all the work. And then when we agreed that when we'd all finished, just wait outside the massage shop, and we'd all go to each shop in a group and collect everyone, and then go for a few beers. And we got to one shop and they went, he ain't here. And we were like, what? This is the geezer that was really shy. So she said he left with one of the girls. And we're all thinking, eh? And we're thinking, well, maybe they're going to come back in a minute, or we'll give him 10, 15 minutes. If he ain't here, we'll have to go. He comes walking down the road with his arm around her. She's got his arm around him. He's kissing her neck. He's fully in love. Like, I think he was in a virginal state beforehand. And the reason he had to leave the shop with her was to go to the ATM because he chose to get services more than the money he had on him. That was good. Right. Anyway. But what I'll do when I come back to it, I'd love to show my Mrs. England. I just don't want. I want to show her London. I want to show her Sorrow, but it's just too dangerous to be taking a bird around. I don't like that. I don't like doing that. I got no trouble in Soho. 6'2" bloke. Walking along like I do, I make sure I'm just not. There's easier targets. Do you know what I mean? But when you've got like a 4'8" bird with you, you're more vulnerable, and I just don't want that for her. There may be a way of working it out. I don't know, but we'll sort something out. Maybe I'll hire a boozer or something so we can all just get in there, and you need a ticket to get in or something. I've done that before for a lockpicking event, but you still got to get there and all that. And there were people like Wolfie and others who'd come from fucking miles away. I know London, it's going to have to be London, but it's a long way to go, isn't it? Anyway, I'm just gibbering now. I'm going to play the out. Right. The debriefing. Packer, what did you make of tonight's stream?
Brilliant. Lovely rambling. Thank you. Oh, I thought you were going to learn to ride horse because it was a Cambodian thing.
No, you know what?
I thought maybe that's what they all do. And he's thought, to impress my missus, I'll learn to ride horse. But that's why you hadn't said it.
what I'm thinking, it's not a Cambodian thing, but when I'm out in the province, it'd be lovely to have a horse to go. You can just go horse riding, and if we do go over a mine, the horse loses its legs and not me. But that it'll be thank you, Hoax. That's very kind of you. No, I thought it'd be lovely to just go out and just ride horse. I'm out in the jungle. There's just loads of places to just canter a horse around. But I don't know. I mean, it's something you can do out here for not a lot of money. That's the main thing. You try learning to ride horse in England, it's all like you've got to buy these fucking pants, these boots, this, that. Out here, they won't expect any of that. I'll just say to them, can you just tell me how to control the fucking thing? That's what I need to know. Be able to do it in a pair of shorts and a crammer. All right, Packer, I'll talk to you in a bit. I'll let you go and we'll have a debriefing afterwards. See you later, mate.
Thank you all. Thanks for having me.
Ta-da. Give Packer some love in the chat, people. He does a great job. And if you weren't here at the start, because he's got his background sorted out, looking like a YouTube channel, I've got a green screen. So hopefully, I can't stream tomorrow night, unfortunately, because I'm busy writing. The football's on. So I might do one Sunday, and hopefully I'll have a green screen. And so Packer's raised the bar. It will finally look like a YouTube channel. So that'll be good. Look at all that love for Packer. He's great. I don't like streaming without him. I don't like it anymore. I don't like doing it. I've only done about 2 without him and I've hated them. Right. I want to thank everyone who's donated. I want to thank Packer. I want to thank all of you who keep coming here. We've had a good 100 people for most of this stream. It always breaks. It always goes down to about 70, 80 at the end, and that's understandable. That's just me half asleep gibbering now. But thank you to all of you. I love this community. If you are new here, maybe consider subscribing. It would be an honor to welcome you into this community. We do help each other out in times of need. And I usually stream a lot more than I have been lately, but I have been writing, and it looks like I might have saved my business. So I'm like, whoa, if you need things in life, you have to make sacrifices. Sleeping 4 hours a night for the last 9 weeks hasn't been easy, but I've got a novel to sell before Christmas, and I'm over the moon with that. So this is a song called New Shoes by a 90s lesser-known band called Household. I know most of you know it, but if you think that the singer sounds familiar, there's a reason for that. So enjoy this. Look after yourselves, people. There won't be a stream tomorrow. I might do a members only chat during the day, so look out for that. Members do actually get perks on this stream after 5 years, but Sunday I'll get a stream in before Rags' one. No, I know that, Bill. Nice to see you, Bill, as well, but you have to make sacrifices. I want to be a writer, and my 800-page novel, I haven't got a big enough audience to release that on people yet. I'm going to have to get 3 or 4 more novels out that are a little bit more easy to read. It makes sense to do it like that. Anyway, look after yourselves, people. Lots of love. Bless you all. Look after yourself, Emma. Ta-da. Hang on. Blogs. I don't ignore you, and you're not blocked. Neither of the two. I'll start the tune again. But no, man, I just think I've got a lot of things to juggle when I'm doing this lark.
the discotheque, I still look crazy. Love me, baby. I only tell lies 'cause the truth escapes. Summertime, we can get new shoes. I'll have brown and you can get the blues. I'm not good, I'm fading, but in the right light I still look vaguely human. Happy it won't be long before we cave in. Summertime, we can get new shoes. I'll have brown and you can get the blues. You can get the blues. Don't worry about my heroin addiction, it's only slight. I need you, love you, and I feel the same again tonight. Summertime, we can get new shoes. I'll have brown and you can get the blue.
Thank you, Madame Lau. Wonderful.
You can get the blue. You can get the blue.
Right. Okay, people, since there's still 60 of you here, I'll play another household song. Thank you, Emma, for your donation. Pack has just dropped a score on the door. You're the fucking host of the show, mate. Thanks for having me. A brick for Mrs. Packer. What do you want, Mrs. Packer? Jesus, Packer. We could have talked about that. I'm glad we didn't, though. I'll be talking to you in a minute. That's very kind, Packer. And thank you, Emma. I've done Little Red's one. Yeah, go on. What do you want? Let's see what you Packer said. Chris, cheers, Chris. Thanks for having me. Brick for Mrs. Packer. See you all later, scrubs. We love new shoes. Thank you. Yeah, it brings back a lot of memories for me from the original early days, and also, of course, playing it on here a lot during the COVID times. It's going to be milk, or he's going for milk. Barrett Zippo's going for milk. Oh, I can't do another hour, John. I'm fucking cream crackered, mate. Sophist says, I'm not feeling well. I was lying in bed watching. My mate came in with a tin of Lucozade Alert. It tastes like creamola foam. Brilliant. I don't know what creamola foam is, but I hope you feel better soon, Sophist. Okay, Mrs. Packer, I'll put it in the book now. It will go on the scrubs wall. Oh, what a lovely present that is. I can imagine Mrs. Packer in a boozer in about 5 years with some of her friends going, do you know what? In the jungle in Cambodia, about 10 clicks left of the Ho Chi Minh Trail, it says Mrs. Packer on the back of an house in the jungle. Can someone remind me, by which I mean Packer, to check with Pizzle whether he wants our power or Pizzle? There you go. Better look on YouTube later and see how to make a Dremel for under £5. Anglo wants Cold Hard Steel, mate. It's a household tune, I'm afraid, but I'll do that next time. Next stream, which will be Sunday. 42's also said milk. All right, milk it'll be. It's a bit of a long one, but milk it is. Cold Hard Steel will do. Will do. It is. It's not a bad one, is it? It's so ludicrous. I'll do milk. Here we go. Right, I've got to do this again. What a weird song this is, man. We loved it. Me and Mumford played it for about 5 hours straight afterwards. Here we go. Household milk. Hang on a minute. Oh, Constance de Bruges. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. You said earlier that you liked, I can't remember what it was, and I thought, oh yeah, Sour Sunshine, which is a very rare one, which I don't think I've ever played on this channel. And now you know Cool Chicks. You really know Household SoundCloud page, didn't you? Which isn't a bad thing. I'm not digging you out for it. I love it. You know, it was a great band. But that's incredible. Cool Chicks is a great song, isn't it? Essentially built around the immigrant song riff. Anyway, milk it is.
Strand lies, bang bangs about us. Be up, be younger, get to serve now life. The last, the final, sweet glad final surround us. Still knee deep and wet, knee deep and wet. Carbon encrusted, mercenary trusted, a fastening vice from Tangier to Mentis. A lot longing, forgotten, infested, a bleak solid air between us tested. The alleyway laughs at time and half, time and half. Splash, you can't come down now, you wouldn't want to. Spies, secret, immediate, amoeba, hilarious. She means the sun stops whining, whining. Thatched roofs, the holes of many spiders, smile so wide we look inside her. The need for milk. The need for milk.
Nice one, Art Close. Nice one. Appreciate Art Close.
The arch bends, bows, pull strings, pulling things to mark time, arbitrary, sublime, weak of random swine. Best leave now, dear bees above the historical rub. This newfound embalming, new farming gold. This winter shade of hazy off brown knackers me. A girl I once knew nothing. A rupture suggests we better be as nothing so less than outburst in slow devotion. Slow devotion. As old rock dissolves, a shining example of love, and the need for milk. The need for milk. The need for milk. Of chemical shores that all sure withdrawals, sensitive, getting flipping, slip you kid, it working, nothing but the need for milk. The need for milk.
that drags on a little bit there. Now, because there are still some of you here, I'm gonna play a tune, one of the ones that I really like, because there's still 58 people here, and that's a nice thing. I'm just gonna select it. That one's too heavy. I think everyone kind of likes this one. Here we go. Last one, people. This was a first take, right? I played the chords, just the basic chords. C, C7, something else I don't know the name of, to Mumford, so he knew the melody. And then I sung it over the chords. He went, all right, I've got it, because he's that good. And then he set up a mic for me. He plugged his acoustic guitar in. This is only one guitar. Now, to musicians, that won't mean anything, but most people think this is like double tracked, 2 or 3 guitars. No, he improvised this. This was the first take. And at the end of it, I said, well, that's done, isn't it? That's absolutely done. This is called Get It Out.
You came in my dream, kissed me, loved me. Tears of a baby roll down your cheek. Your eyes are wide, so look around. You've love to give, so get it out. Get it out anytime. Love sits beside me, I feel complete. You came in my dream, kissed me, loved me. Your eyes are wide, so look around. You've love to give, so get it out. Get it out anytime.
Well, that one successfully woke the missus up. So it's very, very flattering and very kind of you. They're really nice that you like those tunes. They mean a lot to me for various reasons. Look after yourselves, people. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Look out for the audio chats, in the members' audio chats. You get notified in the posts. But if you're set up for notifications, you should get them, but we know what YouTube's like. I could just play household songs to you for the next 3 hours, but I've got to get some sleep. Look after yourselves, people. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you Sunday. I think Dave's Waffle House is on next or something. Someone will tell you. Look after yourselves. Ta-ta.